Meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
65 degrees now. Sports UConn number 2 in the new AP Top 25 women's basketball poll. Sarah Strong, the Big East Freshman of the Week after her impressive debut. Monday Night Football tonight, Miami at the Rams. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager. WTIC 1080 News.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Did you know millions of people are getting prescription medications for weight loss, sexual health, better sleep, and more, all online? RexMD.com has made getting these medications fast and easy, with free delivery of the most popular medications right to your door. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, we'll prescribe and ship clinically proven options to help with issues like weight loss.
I've lost 45 pounds so far. It's nice to get back into clothes that I haven't been able to wear for a long time.
We can also help with insomnia.
I slept through the whole night. It made me feel very well rested and ready to go for the day.
And RexMD can improve your sexual health.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is happier. I am definitely much happier.
At RexMD.com, we've made the process fast, easy, and affordable. Visit RexMD.com right now to get started. That's REXMD.com.
Hi, I'm Say.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC NewsTalk 1080.
And people of color and poor people and gay people and all the people that I care about aren't going to be safe in America. Neither the are you guys. Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the you voted for. You're not in the clear. And just please don't test your gangster on me, because you will end on a stretcher, gone forever. So serious. Nobody can talk to me unless you want to swing. If you want to fight, text me, call me, whatever. Anybody else, stay the out of my face. And if you voted for Trump, literally, please delete me, block me, get rid of everything of me, or step to me so that I know what's up and I can handle you how I see fit. Please just come forward. We know. Just tell me or leave. Please, the door.
Yeah. Hard to believe she's a special ed teacher. She's teaching a special ed student at the Cheshire School District. That is none other than Annie Dunleavy. And give her a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. She deserves it. Teacher, educator, confidant, Annie Dunleavy. I've already called the Cheshire School District to ask them, what can we expect in regards to that young lady going online and taping herself, having what can only be described as an absolute unmitigated breakdown. Meltdown. Exactly, an absolute meltdown on social media because her beloved Kamala Harris did not get elected. I don't understand it, folks. I'm still trying to figure it out. Somebody's going to have to help me to so many degrees. What is going on? What is going on? And welcome to your Monday, folks. I am Reese on the radio, and this is News Talk 1080 WTIC. Give us a call at 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. We've got a great 5 o'clock focus, if I do say so myself. I don't know whether or not, should I pitch what's coming up on Wednesday's show, or should I hold on to it until I get a confirmation? I've got a confirmation.
Wait till tomorrow.
Okay, I'll wait until tomorrow when I get the confirmation. But folks, stand by, because tomorrow's show, I'm going to have a confirmation for Wednesday's show, and I think it's going to be good, and I think it's going to be a pretty hot show. And when I say hot, I mean there are going to be fireworks galore. I'm very excited about this. So I've talked to their press secretary, if indeed they are a press secretary, maybe communications director. I don't want to disparage anybody's job. I spoke to their communications director today. I was texting back and forth, then they called me, then they texted me back, and it looks like it's a go, and they are confirming we will have solidification tomorrow morning. So once they are confirmed tomorrow morning, then I will let you know on tomorrow's show for Wednesday's show. So stand by. Stand by. And it is all current, it is all local, and it is all amazing. But I got to get into it. Folks, it's time to clean house. I mean, isn't it time to clean house? It was I, your very humble host, who said to you that there was just too much going on in this country that was detrimental to all of us. We were forced. Things were forced down our throat. The moment I got here at WTIC, I said to you, this audience, I even asked the question, did the Democrats go too far? 2 years, 7 months ago, folks. That was literally at the beginning of the Biden administration. I said, did this administration go too far? Did the Democrats go too far? Did they throw everything at us? Did they tell us that we had to adhere immediately? And it wasn't going to come back to haunt them. And here we are today, folks, Election Day. Now, you've got all of these people doing the autopsy. Maureen Dowd in the New York Times has a very good piece about what the Democrats did to ruin their, let's just say, relationship with reality. But I'm here to tell you, folks, everyone is focusing on the wrong thing. I'm sorry. It may be true that there were plenty of people out there who had had enough of the Democrat Party. It may be true. But it's not enough. Remember, in order for progressives to prosper, they have got to hamstring everything and everyone. They've got to tie you to the ideology, and if you reject it, they will destroy you. But see, folks, I'm of the ilk that says that wasn't the problem. The problem was this was a failed campaign on purpose. It was. It was a failed campaign on purpose. And their failure is our opportunity to clean house. Lori's in the chat room already. She said, get the broom out. We do. We have to take full advantage of where we are today. Now, listen. People like Annie Dunleavy losing her mind about the way in which people voted. Here's the first thing that's got to happen. It can't be conservatives, independents, or even reasonable people who are condemning Annie Dunleavy. No. All of us need to be silent. What we need to do is to make Annie Dunleavy famous. And after we make her famous, we need to go to every member of the Democrat Party and make them condemn her and her behavior. Make sure that they condemn her and people like her who are online threatening their own family members. Remember Leonard Serrato? Does anybody remember him? Old Leonard? that dean of students, part of fraternity life, saying that people need to go jump off a bridge, saying he didn't care whether or not you were a family member or not, that you needed to go to hell. Remember that? We need to get the left to condemn those people, because remember, it was because the left could not rein in this behavior, could not rein in the rabble-rousers at college campuses, in Yale, at UConn, could not rein those folks in and tell them, you are destroying it for the rest of us. Not dealing with their radical left ideologues, while they pointed their fingers, and wagged them, I might add, at the rest of us for any radical that came out of the woodwork. They sat idly by while they were getting national attention for their cohorts, shutting down colleges across this great country, ostracizing, condemning, and attacking Jews in schools. We never held them to account. While they tiptoed around the issue, college professors had to be fired or resign in disgrace because of it. Why? Yet no one, why happened? No one would stand up and say, you are wrong, you've got to go. What did they do? After Claudine Gay, the president of Harvard University, had to step down, not forced to fire, step down, still got her same salary. Nobody in the Democrat Party stepped up and said, no, she should leave. No, they called it racism instead. They forgave her for her radical views and her ineptitude. It's time to clean house, but it's not for us to clean. Democrats must clean their own house. They have to. They have to clean their own house. Their side of the aisle is dirty. Their side of the aisle is filthy. Their side of the aisle is disgusting. Okay? And this is not going to be cleaned up taking one of those sloppy tramp baths at a gas station. They need a thorough spring cleaning of their party. Worst off, if they expect to win an election in 2028, they're going to have to become conservatives, because we got every demographic that they used to hold. So perhaps, if they're really serious about winning, they're going to have to meet us on our terms. They're going to have to meet the electorate on our terms. They are now fighting an uphill battle. For them, they need to recognize that woke is broke. CRT is a failed idea. DEI is a failed idea. All of it was a product of their demise. Let's get to the phones, because I'm excited today and I'm so glad to be back. I'm glad to be back on the air. 860-522-WTIC. Let's go to Jim. Jim is in Wellington. How you doing, Jim?
I'll tell you what, Reese, what you just talked about, I talked to you about the same thing concerning the Democratic Party off and on since you've been on WTIC.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I said just before the election, probably 10 days before the election, hey, where is the Democratic Party? Why haven't they challenged the
Turn your mic up a little bit.
policies that put this country in the mess that it's in? They sat around and did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. And just literally, they let the crazy people
run it.
The crazy policy go on and on and on. Now, I think I used the phrase, where are the real liberals in the Democratic Party? Why were they so silent? In the state of Connecticut, we have representatives, Joe Courtney, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Where were you? Why weren't you challenging anybody?
They were afraid. They were,
yes,
Jim,
I understand.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say they were virtually afraid because, remember, in a cancel culture, right? Remember, with DEI, with the DEI culture, the CRT culture, with the cancel culture, all of it in general was you could not push back. Now, remember, their radical left set the terms for everybody else. If you don't follow the program, you get canceled. So politicians were, in essence, held hostage by their own, hoisted by their own petard.
So let me add. Let me compare it to something. Do you remember when Pelosi was in the House? She was Speaker.
Yeah.
And there was all kinds of press about what she was going to do with the woke progressive Democratic Party politicians, AOC, and a bunch of other ones. How she was going to handle. What was she going to do?
Right.
How was she going to placate them? Et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
Et cetera. So here we are now. We've got some Democratic Party politicians out there saying this is what we did wrong. You knew what was wrong before, but here we are now after the election. So where are they? Where is Larson? Where is Courtney? Where is Himes? Where is Joanna Hayes? Right? Where are they going to be? Plus all the others.
I'll tell you where they are.
We don't hear about.
Jim, before I let you go,
Forward.
I'll tell you exactly where they are. Did you hear the press conference from William Tong? Did you hear the comments made by Chris Murphy on what they plan on doing? They plan on working against the will of the people. They're not going to listen to even Connecticut. Listen, even though Connecticut, only 45% of the state voted for Donald Trump, which again is clearly gaining grounds in this state for a Republican in 20 years.
Yes,
with all of that, they are still deciding to pay attention to the donor class and fight against Donald Trump in a mandate that he won the election on.
And may I say one more thing?
Please.
At this point, actually, I lost my thought. But at this point, if they're going to do that, if that's where they're going to go with this, all right, you know what? Forget about it. I'll leave it where it was. Let's see what's going to happen when Trump gets in, and then we'll go from there.
You got it. Thank you, Jim. Much appreciated, sir. You got it. Let's go to Tony. Tony's in. Where's Tony? Oh, is that Southington? Yeah, Tony's in Southington. How you doing, Tony?
All right, I'm doing good, Reese. How about you, buddy?
I'm all right, sir. What do you got?
Good. Yeah, what I want to mention is the hypocrisy of the liberals and Democrats, how they, are worried about Trump taking away women's rights and whatnot. First of all, he's not taking anything away. But how do you explain that the Democrats and liberals support transgenderism in women's sports? That's taking the rights away from a heterosexual woman or a lesbian from making a career out of it that's going to give them some sort of income and happiness, or to win a trophy that's legit. So
endorsements. Don't forget about the endorsements. Don't forget about the endorsements. Olympic trials, which again, which represents plenty of little girls who might want to join sports.
Yeah, that's pathetically hypocrite of them to make that statement. And the whole point is, I really feel transgenderism is a specific mental disorder. As to where I could kind of understand someone could be gay or lesbian based on a hormonal imbalance when they're born.
But Tony, I would look at it
as just a straight up mental disorder.
Tony, I would look at it this way, and I think it runs right into my conversation with Jim earlier. We're looking at a Democrat Party who is being held hostage by its most extreme. They know. Listen, most of these politicians. In fact, there's a woman who won an election in California for a House seat, and her race was incredibly close. And she has a daughter. She was just quoted in a New York Times article that said that one of the biggest problems that she's seeing as a mother is that they are hell bent. They are being held hostage, I should say, by the extreme left. That they don't even protect young girls in their party, because they wish to, they don't want to offend the people of the LGBTQ community, which has got to be just a slither of the party base. I mean, we're talking about a slither.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody's going to take rights away from them either. I mean, if they're really all, worried about, like, even the transgender tiny portion of the community, create a different league of sports specifically for them.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're violating women's rights by putting them into lesbian or heterosexual women's sports if they want to make a career out of it and make a living and make that their income.
That's the part that,
to me,
that's the part that
offensive,
makes me crazy, is the fact that they would take these opportunities from girls and then suggest that the only thing, or the thing that is paramount to a girl's future, is the ability to abort her babies. That's what they consider the rights of women.
Correct, because transgenderism defeats science 110%. There are only
Exactly.
two genders, period. It's a hormonal imbalance. Those people that are transgender should become gay or lesbian.
Indeed.
That's what they're missing in life, and that's how I feel, buddy.
No, good job. Listen, I appreciate you, Tony. Thank you, sir. I will say this. Let me read the chat room real quick because someone just said this. Lori actually wrote this. She said, exactly, a transgender league should be established. Well, let's go one step further. If you want to watch an entire league hemorrhage money, start a transgender one. Okay? Because, again, they don't support their own. Right? We're looking at the WNBA, even with the...
Nobody's watching that.
Yes. Even with the NBA, I mean, the WNBA right now with Caitlin Clark, who has got to be probably... She's barnstorming that league. It's still hemorrhaging cash. So, and primarily because what? Because they crapped on themselves disparaging Caitlin Clark, bringing heterosexual Christian girls to the league. And what did the league do? They bashed her for it. Because they wanted to be an LGBTQ league and not a league for girls. So it makes it's like they wanted to be one thing that only they can establish, but not the rest. But yeah, try a transgender league and see how well that's defunct. Trust me, a transgender league it'll shut down faster than the XFL. That's the only way. I don't think it'll last half a season. If that. Do I have time for this one? Let me see if I can take, let's take Bob in Middletown real quick. Sorry, let me get to here real quick.
Rob.
Oh, Rob. I'm sorry. Like I said, Bob. Rob is in Middletown. How you doing, Rob?
Good. How you doing, Reese? You know, Attorney General Dong and Ned Lee can get up there and talk all the smack. They want big, tough guys. As soon as Trump says you ain't getting the money, they're going to turn around and bow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They cave to the money. That's the most important thing.
I've got you know what's so funny? I've got an audio clip that supports that, and I'm going to play it in a little bit. That you're 100% right. The federal money is the thing that they fear the most because, again, I don't know what politician up here, at least on the Democrat side, would be happy with standing on their own too without the federal dollars that they get to distribute in any which way or fashion because they love taxpayer dollars. If that's one thing, they love that.
Right, Trump will sweep that leg.
Yeah, exactly. Sweep the leg. I like that. That's right. He'll sweep that leg. Thank you, Rob. All right. I promise you, folks. You got it, sir. I promise you that we've got more news and more views on this when we return. I will definitely talk about the issue of immigration in this country and especially in this state because that is a huge part of our conversation with our guest that's going to be on Wednesday. But I'll share that with you in a little bit. But other than that, if you've got a phone call, give it to us. If you've got a phone call to give it to us. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest.
The law firm of Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott understands that divorce can be intimidating and the decisions you make today will impact your life forever. Divorce is complicated. There's a lot at stake when considering your future. At Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott, our team of family attorneys have over 100 years of combined experience and understand every family law case is different. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer, you get a law firm. Call us at 860-CALL-BPS or visit bpslawyers.com. Katie Bissonette is responsible for the content of this ad.
Highland Park Market is a family-owned and operated local business. We care about and are invested in the well-being of our communities. Compared to chain stores, locally owned businesses return a much larger share of our revenue back into the local economy, enriching the entire community. Highland Park Market offers great service, the best products, and the highest quality throughout our stores. We appreciate your support. Nobody does it better than Highland Park Market. Manchester, Glastonbury, Farmington, and at highlandparkmarket.com.
You love your city, but let's be honest, the commute, not so much. That's where the free Odyssey app can help. Download the app and follow your local news station so you can get the latest traffic reports or find if your train is on time before you walk out your door. Knowing all this gives you time to think about the essential things like, do I have time to get coffee? Download the free Odyssey app and search your local news station. That's AUDACY.
What do you call the NordVPN Black Friday deal, huh? The Block Friday deal. Because you block online threats. Black Friday, Block Friday. Get it? It's hilarious. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal and block online threats now. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic. Its Threat Protection Pro tool will defend you against web trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get the special Black Friday deal at NordVPN.com and enjoy safer internet daily. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
And now, a WTIC news update.
64 degrees at 3:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High about 70, low in the mid-40s overnight. Cooler but dry and windy tomorrow. A red flag warning has been issued for Hartford, Tolland, and Windham counties through tomorrow at 6 p.m. About 80 wildfires are still being monitored statewide. From the traffic desk, I-91 north in Wallingford closed right around exit 15. State police are investigating after a tractor-trailer collided with another vehicle just before 2 p.m. One person was transported to a local hospital. That's 91 north in Wallingford, closed between exits 15 and 16. Donald Trump will nominate one of his top backers in Washington, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik of New York, as ambassador to the UN. He will also bring back Tom Homan as border czar. Homan, one of those responsible for the family separation policy in the first Trump term. More nominations are on the way, according to CBS's Weijia Zhang.
CBS News has learned Republican Senator Bill Haggerty of Tennessee, a staunch opponent of Ukraine aid, is being considered for Secretary of State, along with Senator Marco Rubio and former Director of National Intelligence Rick Grinnell.
New York Times reporting anti-immigration figure Stephen Miller will be a deputy chief of staff. 1.4 million Honda and Acura vehicles are being investigated for possibly being prone to engine failure.
Honda has already recalled 250,000 vehicles because their V6 engines can fail. Now federal safety regulators are looking at 1.4 million other Hondas and Acuras that may have a similar problem. At least one crash with no injuries has been reported. Honda says it's cooperating in the investigation.
CBS's Jeff Gilbert. In New Haven, police are searching for a hit-and-run driver. They say 41-year-old pedestrian Luis Timbila was struck and killed just after 2 a.m. yesterday on State Street. They're looking for a black Honda Civic with front-end damage. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 273, S&P climbing 2 points, NASDAQ is down 10 points. And the WTIC forecast.
For the rest of our Monday afternoon, it'll be breezy and warm, the high of 70. Clear to partly cloudy, breezy tonight, the low down to 47. Then as we head through Tuesday, it'll be mostly sunny, windy, and notably cooler, that high of 54. Likely to feel more like it's in the 40s at best with that northwest wind at 12 to 25 miles an hour throughout the day. Plenty of sunshine, a chilly day for Wednesday, the high even cooler at 48. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
64 degrees in Hartford sports. Giants coach Brian Daboll says the team is evaluating its quarterback situation after yesterday's loss to Carolina and Daniel Jones' poor performance in that game. Monday Night Football, Miami at the Rams. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
I'm elder law attorney Haley Allaire. Our greatest reward is happy clients telling us that they're very thankful for our help.
Hello, this is Mary from Berlin. Our family chose Allaire Elder Law to help us in getting our mom into the right nursing home that worked best for her and our family. Although her parents had a will, power of attorney, and healthcare representative forms, they were old and out of date. Allaire was able to handle the new documents along with generating a testamentary trust that fit best for our parents' current situation. Once that was completed, Allaire told me as the power of attorney what I needed to do to save as many assets as I could. Our family continues to use Allaire's elder care services to promote mom's health, safety, and well-being. Allaire's care coordinator continues to take part in mom's care plan meetings, and she continues to advocate for mom's right to quality care. Without Allaire Elder Law, we certainly would not have been able to save the assets we did, nor be in the position we are in today.
Find out more at allaireelderlaw.com. That's ALLAIRE.
Experience the power of the Hartford Symphony Orchestra with Brahms First under the brilliant leadership of music director Carolyn Kwan. November 15th through the 17th at the Bushnell. World-renowned cellist Inbal Segev will captivate you with Elgar's poignant concerto for cello in E minor. Then feel the triumph as the orchestra brings Brahms Symphony No. 1 to life, a symphonic tour de force that pays homage to Beethoven while declaring Brahms' unique voice. Tickets start as low as $10 for students. Call 860-987-5900 or visit hartfordsymphony.org.
Looking for better heating savings and service for your home? Go with Petro. Switch now and get $125 free heating oil or propane. Want to save more on heating costs? Go with Petro to get a new heating system with $0 down and low monthly payments. For expert HVAC tune-ups, repairs, and live 24/7 service, go with your local HVAC pros to stay warm and save all winter. Go to petro.com now or call 1-888-PETRO02 today. That's 1-888-PETRO02. Propane not available in all areas.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Hi, Tom Shattuck here, and November is Veterans Month. And to celebrate and honor the heroes who have served our country. This November, Awaken 180 Weight Loss is showing their appreciation for active duty, veterans, and spouses by offering 15% off your entire Awaken 180 program. Free support for life included. It's a thank you for the sacrifices you've made, protecting our freedoms and making this country what it is. This is special.
I gotta make
Awaken
the fonts
180
on
has
this
never
thing bigger.
offered a discount, ever. If this incentive can help turn your...
I blew it up on my screen. It'll be the full screen.
Go for it.
Yeah,
Do
I
what
put it
did
on
and
full
choose
screen, but
the
it's the
solution
fonts
for
are
weight
still
loss.
too small.
So if you're active duty or a spouse of one,
I'll find a way
this
to do
month
it.
is about you.
Oh, you got it on your little laptop. That's why.
Yeah, the little laptop.
Your
you gave me, it's
Awaken
like,
180 program.
you know.
And as with all clients, receive free
It's like I gotta
support
throw
for
up a
life
magnifying
after reaching your goal.
My old
radio
ass.
guys I know did, who've lost a ton.
All right, here we go.
You got
Matter of fact, over 23,000 other people have done it too. Take control at awaken180weightloss.com.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah. That is a beat that I would drive around in my car through a bad neighborhood. So nobody would think I was soft. I would come through the hood just like that. What's up, son? It's Reese on the Radio, NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Oh, man. Okay, so I want to play this first because somebody had mentioned the illegals, right? So, you know, how they're going to push back on Donald Trump. And someone had mentioned the federal funding. I want you to hear New Haven Mayor Justin Elicker. He was asked on the Sunday show with Dennis House. I forget what the name of the show is. But anyway, you know, Dennis House and WTNH. This is what he said. I thought this was interesting when he was asked by Dennis House about, hey, look, you know, what should happen if Donald Trump were to stop federal funding to the city, if not the state, because of sanctuary cities?
If the federal government should say, you know, we're going to cut back on federal funding to New Haven because they're a sanctuary city, how much would that impact the city in terms of the money received?
Well, so they tried to do something similar in the past with the first Trump administration by trying to cut off funding. And at the time, there was a real legal response because it wasn't just places like New Haven, but there's a lot of cities around the nation that responded. And we'll be fighting back on that to make sure that we defend our values, but also protect people that are part of our community.
Is there a line where you have to stop fighting back? I know the Attorney General said this week that if the federal government should step into Connecticut to do certain things, that he would fight back. But how much can you fight back?
Yeah, I think that it's early to know exactly what's going to happen here. And we've already had meetings with a lot of our nonprofit partners in the community to try to anticipate what may happen.
So Justin Elicker here, Mayor Justin Elicker, is talking about how we're going to work with our nonprofit partners, but never once in that interview does Mayor Elicker talk about his constituents and how they feel about protecting illegals in the city. For another time, I'll get into that. Because there's a lot that goes, like, shouldn't you be, I don't care if you're talking to the nonprofits. The nonprofits have something to gain by this. So I want to know exactly whether or not anybody in the state is talking to the constituents, because they seem to be very invested in protecting them. And again, this is the crazy part. They want to protect illegals, and they also want to push abortion, which again seems foolhardy after this election. Let's go to Teresa in Hartford. How you doing, Teresa? Teresa, are you there? Sounds like she's there. She may have put the phone down. Okay. Teresa, that's okay. We'll call back. Let's go to Doc. Hello, Doc. You on Reese on the Radio. How are you, sir?
Good. Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you, sir. Happy Veterans Day. And thank you for reminding me. My wife's a veteran, and I've been saying thank you all day, so I totally forgot. My apologies.
As you know, my family's got a long history in the military, and it stopped with my generation. We were the last ones to be in. But anyways, now, if I remember properly, and correct me if I'm wrong, the splitting of families of illegal immigrants started under Obama, not under Trump.
Correct. In fact,
they keep trying to say that it was Trump's doing.
Yeah, in fact, the crazy part was they considered Barack Obama the deporter-in-chief, and he was counting deportations as people who were turned around at the border. He didn't even take them in. He turned them around and then counted those as deportations.
Well, that's one way to cook the books.
I'd say it was.
There's two types of lies: damn lies and statistics.
You know what? He's an amazing guy. And, people said he was a great orator. I was like, he was a great manipulator of facts.
Yes. He was somewhat robotic in his speech, though.
I've always thought so. I always thought he was, with the constant, what'd you say? But what you got? And what do you do?
Yep. Exactly.
I'm sorry. I can't do it. I do the worst Barack Obama impersonation, but in order to recover from how bad it is, I just have to do, That's my favorite part. Thank you, Doc. I appreciate you, sir. Now we got you got it. We got Teresa back. All right, let's find out. There she is. How you doing, Teresa?
Good, Reese. How are you?
I'm great. What you got?
I'm just wondering, yesterday I was reading on the patch about the woman, and I don't remember her name, please forgive me, in Bridgeport that got in trouble for stuffing the ballot box.
Oh, we're talking about Wanda Pataki.
Yes, how she's performing all these marriages in the town hall.
Yes, $100 a pop. She is officiating marriages, and according to the report, the suspicious nature of these nuptials, as it were, are men from India who are marrying other women of color. And it appears that this is some sort of like a pay-to-play scheme where the men who need visas, or at least to be able to be into the country illegally, are paying these women to marry them in a scheme that Wanda Pataki is now a part of.
Correct. And these girls are like 19, 18, 20 years old.
Yep.
That are marrying these older men.
Indeed.
And they seem to not really kind of understand. I was reading in the article, one of them didn't understand what she's supposed to do with the marriage license. And so I'm sorry, how is this being allowed, that this woman is being allowed to do this, and everybody's, I don't know, people I guess are turning a blind eye to it?
Teresa, let me tell you what they're not. Let me tell you what they are doing. Okay, and it's real simple, and it's Connecticut politics. It's Connecticut politics at its roots today. Wanda Pataki is going to be allowed to behave in the way in which she does is because of systemic racism in the state of Connecticut. Now, hear me out. They will not go after Wanda Pataki because she is a black woman. And to politicians and the news media in Connecticut, it is a crime to actually report on criminal activity being perpetrated by a black woman like Wanda Pataki, lest they be ridiculed and called racist for pointing out the obvious scheme that she is a part of. That is the reason why. Now, you and I see it. All of us can see it. Even the news media can see it. But they will wait until it is a burden that they can no longer bear hiding, that they will report on it. After everybody does independently, they will be forced to report it and act like they were first to the scene. That's exactly what's going on here.
Right. Agreed. I guess my confusion is what she is doing is illegal.
Yep.
As well as the participants. So I don't know.
It's laughable. Listen, Teresa, it's laughable because there's a part of you that just, first of all, you're laughing at how absurd it is, right? That people in a world where everyone has been telling you about equity, right? Where everyone's telling you how everyone should be treated equal, that this woman is parading around what can only be alleged is criminal activity, and everyone sits around there stunned to silence. After what we're seeing, after what we just saw in the referendum of this last election, that America said enough is enough. These people still sit by and go, nope, not touching it.
Yeah, and not to mention the girls, these young girls that are being exploited.
Exactly.
For who knows what kind of money. I mean, and I just don't understand why nobody's screaming about it.
And you can't criminalize them either.
These girls.
Teresa, you can't criminalize those girls either because a lot of those girls are from minority groups as well. So in essence, what they're saying is, hey, are you black, brown, Latina? Want to get away with a crime? No problem. Just do it. We won't say a word because you know what? You've been put upon by your status in life. That's why.
Yeah.
Teresa, don't forget though, listen, mind your P's and Q's because if you accidentally take a Jolly Rancher from a candy store without paying for it, you're going to do 10 to 20.
That's right. You got that right. I know. Trust me. All right, Reese,
just the way it goes.
Listening to you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say I was sorry I couldn't go this past Wednesday night to celebrate with you.
God willing, there will be many more. There will be many more, Teresa. We're going to try to do a whole bunch of things. Somebody even gave the idea of doing something. Oh, we're going to do maybe like a movie because nobody goes to the movies anymore. And maybe we could just take up an entire movie theater and see some garbage that they put out from Hollywood.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate you, dear. Thank you.
You too.
You got it. All right. We've got, you know what? I don't want to, we can't. Yeah, we could take. Why not? That is. Where's Tim calling from? Why can't I read that?
Broadbrook.
Broadbrook. Okay. Tim is in Broadbrook. What's going on, Tim? How are you, sir?
What's not going on? I'm telling you, Reese, man. What a week. What a week. I'm a little upset, man. I thought Camel Toe was going to get in for sure. I thought for sure she was a shoo-in. And, because she's highly qualified.
Indeed.
If you check all the boxes, and she checks a lot of them. And then I thought, well, no, I don't think so. The betting money's going the other way. Let's face it. The whole thing is the uniparty in Connecticut. Somebody needs to do something about Lamont. Somebody needs to do something about William Tong. Somebody needs to do something about Ellicott. Their cities are falling apart.
Yep.
And it's more of the same. And everybody's afraid to talk about it.
And the machine keeps going on and continues to elect these people. Ellicott, in that interview with David House at TNH, David House asked, House asked him whether or not he was going to run for re-election, and he said for sure. And it's New Haven. It never gets better in New Haven.
I've got a question. Now, David House was married to Kara Sunderland, right?
I believe so, yes.
Is he still in the house in the West End? Because he lives in the West End.
Dennis House. Thank you. It's Dennis House. I'm calling him David. I actually shook his hand the other day.
Yeah, well, whatever. He's a has-been. And, Carol, she's looking a little long in the tooth, too. That's all I'm saying. And she lives in the west end of Hartford. They barely see the city. When they get out of their house, they take a left, and they go up toward West Hartford. So that's good for them that they can ask those probing questions, which lead to nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's all softballs, man. They just line them up, and they hit them out of the park. Elliker, he's a little light in the loafers too. I don't want to cast any aspersions.
Listen. I get what you're saying, but you know what? Guys like Elliker, guys like Tong, and a lot of them, they've hitched their wagon to everybody other than the citizens of Connecticut, and that's why listen. Right now, they're going to have to answer for their party and their decisions because, again, that election on last Tuesday, is really telling about the state of Connecticut. And to see those grounds gained with Republicans in the state clearly shows that there's a frustration growing. They all know it, and they've all responded to it because they know it's real. They know it's real.
You know what my concern is? What happens with the Republicans, they have a good showing, and then they go to sleep. You know what I mean? We have a good showing, and what's going to happen next time around in the election?
Tim, I will tell you this. At the second time around, whoever is a Republican that was afraid of Donald Trump as a candidate, those days should be over. And if you're still living in that world, you don't deserve to run for office in any capacity. That's the way
I think J.D. Vance is a gift from God.
Isn't he? Isn't he?
We're going to have 8 years of J.D. Vance if I have my way. If the Republican, let's face it, Connecticut is. I don't believe that we lost in Connecticut. Because I saw signs in Western Mass, every other house.
I will listen. I'll say this: the big cities are where we lost. But then again, that's what Operation Sister Girl is all about.
Still steal the vote. Though.
Yeah, that may be the case. But I do have to. Let me take a break real quick, Tim. But I appreciate your call, boss man.
I just want to say something else about Wacky Pataki there.
Go ahead, real quick.
They really need to do something about her. She should be in jail. She shouldn't even be out there. And how is she a justice of the peace after getting, caught red-handed? Exactly the point. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you. Let's take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views. We'll talk to Dave in Brantford when we return. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Technological advances speed all things up, including dental care. Columbia Implant Center in Manchester takes full advantage of this technology to bring better, faster service and better results in one day, the same day, 7 days a week. We have the specialists, the facility, and the technological expertise to provide and complete the treatment today. Call Columbia Implant Center at 860-730-6020 or visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
Hi, Joel Johnson here with Johnson Brunetti. Hey, retirement income. Are you sure that you're maximizing your retirement income? Get the retirement income checklist from us, absolutely free. Text the word checklist to 1-800-705-1232. Again, call or text the word checklist to 1-800-705-1232. A checklist to maximize your retirement income.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Imagine a world where animals and humans coexist in harmony, where wild animals thrive, habitats are protected, and marginalized communities are empowered. At International Animal Rescue, this is our vision. Our holistic, community-led projects not only rescue animals, but also protect and replenish precious habitats, creating a better future for us all. But we can't do this without you. Show your support now and help keep the wild, wild. Visit internationalanimalrescue.org.
Do you know a veteran in need? Nation's Finest, through the VA's Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, helps veterans and their families struggling with rent, employment, and other housing-related costs. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in California, Arizona, and Nevada, helping thousands of veterans every year. Visit nationsfinest.org or call 1-833-468-9676. That's 1-833-468-9676.
Woohoo!
Oh, a minute.
Out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wild tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Folks, go nowhere. In the next hour, we're going to talk to Greg Nicestro of the Daily Caller. Now, you may remember I played a video of him from, it's called Daily Caller Shorts, talking about the Kamala Harris campaign. And the only reason why we had him on was because he was echoing yours truly about that campaign. Okay? Folks, the argument is over. Reese on the Radio has been vindicated that I knew this from the beginning, and I have the audio sound bites to support it. The campaign was never real. It was fake. It was a boondoggle. While everybody else is screaming over here on the right, look left. Trust me, and I have all the audio from Nancy Pelosi, John Favreau, and a woman by the name of Lindy Lee. All the audio that proves what Reese on Radio said when this campaign began, that it was a farce. The whole thing was set up for failure. We have all of that, so go nowhere. Now, back to the phones we go. Let's go to Dave in Brantford. Dave, thank you for holding, sir. What's going on?
Reese, I don't have a lot of time. That story about Wanda Jeter Pataki,
Yes.
Mayor Elliker, he needs to be rung up on a RICO racketeering charge. There is clearly an insider conspiracy to greenlight these immigrant marriages, which are fraud. They're plainly fraud.
Indeed.
To get green cards for these immigrants. And part of the job description for the official and vital statistics, you might remember a year ago, Pat Clark was in the Office of Marriage Licenses and lost her job because she was flagging these fraudulent marriages. She lost her job, and there was 100 a month of these fraudulent marriages clogging up the court system in New Haven for these illegal marriages. The New Haven Independent, the Paul Bass story, reported as of October 15th, that number is up to 393 such fraudulent applications in the most recent months. It's 4 times worse than it was a year ago. It's poisoning my town. There's so many of these fraudulent immigrants. They're trying to get into my town hall to get married because we are a destination location. The invitation is out
for this exact fraud.
America.
For this exact fraud. Listen to me. Dave promised me. Dave, you have to promise me one thing because you're not going to go to traffic real quick. Promise me you will be here at the beginning of the show tomorrow, okay? Because I promise you I'm going to have some news for you, okay?
Thank you.
All right, you got it.
I'll try to be.
You got it, sir. Yeah, whatever you do, listen, don't fret. Tomorrow you got to come to tomorrow's show. I promise.
Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day, sir, to you too. Anyway, all right, now let's get our first check of the traffic with our good friend Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark, happy Monday.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Same to you, and good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading into downtown Hartford right now and you're on the southbound side of I-91, you got a good ride coming down from Windsor into downtown, although you're going to see some slow traffic now as you push down by exit 26 in Wethersfield. We have the remains of a tractor-trailer fire in the right lane between 24 and 23 in Rocky Hill, so stay left there. Once again, right lane blocked with that. Now, if you're traveling on the northbound side of I-91, that looks good. Cromwell through downtown. up into the Windsor area, and then you're going to start slowing by 39, 41 in Windsor Locks between 44 and 42 Dexter Coffin Bridge. We've got right lane road work there. You want to stay to the left. Now, westbound 84 East Hartford slowing 56 Governor Street up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 84 eastbound, you've got delays now just after 44 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 through 84, okay. 2 westbound, just a little tight from exit 4 up to the 84 West merge. Middletown's okay. 9 northbound delays from exit 30 up to exit 31 in Berlin on the northbound side of Route 9. Also, look out for an accident now, 91 northbound between exit 15 and 16. That is right on the Meriden-Wallingford line. We've got a crash there in the right lane. Delays are approaching exit 13 in Wallingford behind that. So that tractor-trailer vehicle crash, once again, is really slowing things down through that area. Also a crash northbound on the Parkway as you move between Wallingford and Meriden, between 66 and 67, right lane block there. Delays are approaching 66 in Wallingford behind that. If you're heading toward Waterbury right now, that is just a little bit slow on the westbound side of 84, approaching the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound's tied up approaching 17 up to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound in Newtown slowing 10 to 11. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather. For the rest of our Monday afternoon, it'll be breezy and warm, the high of 70. Clear to partly cloudy, breezy tonight, the low down to 47. Then as we head through Tuesday, it'll be mostly sunny, windy, and notably cooler, that high of 54. Likely to feel more like it's in the 40s at best with that northwest wind at 12 to 25 miles an hour throughout the day. Plenty of sunshine, a chilly day for Wednesday, the high even cooler at 48. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC.
You know, you never told me whether or not this microphone sounds better than the old one.
Oh yeah, it sounds good. It's just it's like a little low, like you don't have it up enough.
Always
well, is it still low now?
63 degrees.
You had, when I said turn it up, you turned it up?
Yeah. Hold on. How about now?
Low in the mid 40s overnight.
That better?
Cooler but dry and windy.
Yeah, but I need it. I can't check the gauges when we.
Right.
Gauges
Only
when
wait
you
until you gotta wait until
when you over the airways. Yeah.
Fires are still being monitored statewide.
Yeah, it wasn't even coming up past halfway. That's why I was like,
okay,
we got to turn that up.
Police are investigating.
It sounds crystal clear.
Another
that's good.
Just before 2 p.m., one person was transported to a local hospital. That's 91 North in Wallingford, closed between exits 15 and 16. On this Veterans Day, keeping with tradition, President Biden placed a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington National Cemetery.
For all the military families, to all those with a loved one still missing or unaccounted for, to all Americans grieving the loss of a loved one who wore the uniform, Jill and I want you to know we see you, we thank you, and we'll never stop working to meet our sacred obligation to you and your family.
Governor Lamont attended ceremonies in Middletown and New Haven. The incoming presidential administration is coming along. Donald Trump will nominate one of his top supporters in Washington, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik of New York, as ambassador to the UN. She has limited foreign policy experience. He will also bring back Tom Homan as border czar, an immigration hardliner, representative of what the administration plans to do on the issue. CBS News immigration reporter Camilo Montoya Galvez.
President-elect Trump has promised to reinstate policies like the Remain in Mexico program that requires migrants to await their asylum hearings in Mexico, not in the U.S., but also to send the military and the National Guard to the border to essentially stop migrants from crossing the border illegally. There are a lot of legal questions about whether the military can actually carry out that work because typically they are prohibited from engaging in domestic law enforcement.
Congress returns to work tomorrow. Republicans will choose this week a Senate Majority Leader. The leading contenders, Senators Rick Scott, John Cornyn, and John Thune. Control over the House remains in doubt with less than 20 races left to be called. A large house burned in Norwalk this morning. The Norwalk Fire Department says it was a 7,000 square foot home on Sasqua Road. There was no one inside when it burned at about 4 a.m. extensive damage, but no injuries. The price of Bitcoin at almost $87,000. It's been on a roll since the election.
A 15% rally since Wednesday on the belief that President-elect Donald Trump will maintain a favorable view of crypto and help loosen regulations on the industry. An analyst note from investment bank Citi says that legislation that improves the legal transparency of crypto could transform the U.S. into a crypto hub instead of falling behind other countries. Citi notes that while smaller cryptos, including Ethereum, are rising in popularity, Bitcoin owns 60% of the global crypto market cap.
That's CBS's Jason Brooks. Wall Street just closing, and the Dow closes above 44,000 for the first time. It gained 304 points. S&P was plus 6. The NASDAQ was plus 12 points. In sports, UConn, the number 2 in the new AP Top 25 women's basketball poll. Sarah Strong, the Big East Freshman of the Week, after her impressive debut. And Monday Night Football, Miami at the LA Rams. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Shop Dell Technologies Black for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio.
It's actually a good point, Craig.
Chase Inc. helped me go from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owner compensated for their
Here we go.
by JP Morgan Chase Bank, and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We are back right here on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Stupidest thing I've read today, CNN says that liberals made Joe Rogan toxic. CNN says that liberals made Joe Rogan toxic. Ivermectin ring a bell, CNN? Go to reeseontheradio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com to go check out the story and more. They're making all these wild claims. Let's go to I got to go to Fred real quick. Let's go to him, right? Fred, if you don't mind, real quick. I don't want to leave you out before we have our guest on. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, and I can do this real quick. I got one shot. So Veterans Day, which, of course, used to be Armistice Day, it's kind of a remembrance.
Yes.
But what is it a remembrance of? Well, the sacrifice, the courage. No, it was supposed to be a remembrance not to do this again.
Ah.
Yeah. And it got kind of perverted.
Well, everything always evolves into something else, I guess. And I understand, your sentiment is like sort of, it's a reminder never to go back to a world where, it's like a world of war.
End all wars.
Yes, I know the war. Yes, exactly. the war to end all wars. It's interesting that it was World War I they were talking about.
Well, it was called the Great War. They didn't think they'd have to give it a number. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a deliberate perversion. Thank you.
You got it. Much appreciated, sir. Very good point. Okay, so we have a guest. Greg Nicestro is coming on from the Daily Caller. He and I were the only ones who were on point that the Kamala Harris campaign was a joke, that it was nothing real. And I have the audio to back it up. I've got Greg's video as well. And when you hear this, folks, there will be no doubt. While everybody else is screaming and hollering, was it this, was it that? Nope. The campaign was set to implode on its own. And we have that evidence when we return. Now, let's get another check of the traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading into Hartford on the southbound side of I-91, You're going to see some slow traffic now as you move from 33 down to 32 A and B. And again, back in the slow stop and go again from exit 25 S&N down to 24. The remains of a tractor trailer fire down in Rocky Hill, and that is taking out the right lane down there. So look out for that. If you are on the northbound side of I-91, we have an accident now by exit between 15 and 16 in Wallingford. So right now, you've got the highway shut down at exit 15 in Wallingford. Delays are back to exit 13. Behind that, that's a tractor trailer versus vehicle accident, and the highway continues to be shut down. Now, after that, good ride from Cromwell through downtown, and then you're going to slow again as you approach exit 40, the Bradley connector up in Windsor locks between 42 and 44. As you move up into East Windsor, we've got some road work on the Dexter Coffin Bridge in the right lane. If you are traveling on the westbound side of 84, delays 56 Governor Street into the area 48 Capitol Avenue. 84 eastbound slowing 46 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 through 84 okay. 2 eastbound moving well Glastonbury to Marlboro. Quiet in Middletown. If you're traveling on the northbound side of 15, right at the end of the Parkway, we've got delays because of an accident between exit 66 in Wallingford and 67 in Meriden. Right lane is shut down there. Delays are approaching 66 behind that. Now, if you're heading into the Waterbury area, 84 eastbound, delays 17 up to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 a little slow by 26 in Cheshire. 84 eastbound, some slow traffic as you move between 10 and 11 in Newtown. 95 South New Haven slowing 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather. A partly cloudy and a breezy tonight. The low down to 47. A mostly sunny, windy, and cooler day for us, though, on Tuesday. The high 55 will feel quite a bit cooler with those northwest winds 15 to 25 miles an hour. And still, the gusty winds, low humidity, and dry brush will result in a very high fire threat. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine. A chilly day, the high 48. Again, periods of sun Thursday, chilly, the high again 48. Partly sunny on Friday, the high up to 56, and Saturday, breezy, otherwise a mix of clouds and sun, the high of 54. Right now, 67 in Meriden, Danbury 64, it's 67 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Did you know that 9 out of 10 customers would recommend AAA insurance to a friend? 9 out of 10 people don't even like baseball. And that's America's pastime. It has an entire Hall of Fame that people visit just because they love baseball that much. Does that mean we should have a Hall of Fame? You can't frame legendary service. Legendary service and superior coverage from AAA Insurance. Something 9 out of 10 of our customers would recommend. Find out why at AAA.com/insurance and get a quote today. Based on a 2023 customer survey, insurance provided by CSAA Insurance Exchange.
California Psychics is the real deal.
Oh, a minute.
Totally changed my attitude. Totally got me psyched to start my business. And take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
What do you call the NordVPN Black Friday deal, huh? The Block Friday deal. Because you block online threats. Black Friday, Block Friday. Get it? It's hilarious. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal and block online threats now. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic. Its Threat Protection Pro tool will defend you against web traffic.
Yeah, 10.
And malware-ridden downloads. Get the special Black Friday deal at NordVPN.com and enjoy safer internet daily. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Now, folks, believe it or not, there were only 2 people, just two people who believed that the whole campaign was a joke for Kamala Harris. And that was myself and our next guest. So let me give you a refresher. And the only reason why I had him on for the first time we ever spoke, was because he did what's called the DC short for the Daily Caller News Foundation, and it went a little something like this.
These big-name Democrats are out saying and doing all the right things to support Kamala. But you want to know a secret?
Deep down, they don't want her to win. If Kamala wins, she's the de facto nominee in 2028. That's tradition, and it's not going to break. That means they have to wait until 2032 if they want to run for president. And all of these people truly believe they can win the presidency.
Now, he was talking about, of course, Pritzker, Shapiro, Newsom, Whitmer. And Kamala Harris took the mantle. I mean, took it pretty much because it was handed to her. Now, I want to play this. I'm going out of order, but this is important to note. Listen very closely to what what Nancy Pelosi said to the New York Times last week, Thursday or Friday. This is what she said to the New York Times.
Should there have been an open primary, though?
Well, see, we thought that there would be. The anticipation was that if the president were to step aside, that there would be an open primary. And as I say, Kamala may have. I think she would have done well in that and been stronger going forward. But we don't know that. That didn't happen. We live with what happened. And because the president endorsed Kamala Harris immediately, that really made it almost impossible to have a primary at that time.
Made it almost impossible. And what other reason would it be impossible? Because Kamala Harris is a woman of color, and the aforementioned Pritzker, Shapiro, Whitmer, and Newsom are white. On the line with us is Greg Nicestro from the Daily Caller News Foundation. I have that right. You're with the Daily Caller News Foundation. Is that right, Greg?
That's right. Yep.
Okay. All right. So Greg's with us. Now, Greg, here's Nancy Pelosi pretty much summing up what we all thought, right? What I was saying at the beginning of this campaign. There's no way they want Kamala Harris to win. But Joe Biden threw his support behind her, and they were forced. You agree?
That seems to be apparent. And you mentioned to me, what was her name? Lily Lee?
Yeah, Lindy Lee. Yeah, Lindy Lee, the bundler for the Kamala Harris campaign.
Right, and she said that they wanted to have the primary, and Joe Biden sort of did it, and it almost was kind of a way of blowing it all up in their face. Well, screw you then. Here's a candidate that can't win. Take that.
Exactly. And here's another part that also makes it so crazy. Jon Favreau from Pod Save America, he said this on his show on Friday, talking about what the Biden administration was telling the press. Now, let me give you the backdrop here. The backdrop is the media is starting to say, hey, Joe Biden, perhaps you should step aside now and give the mantle to someone else, perhaps your vice president. And he was going to the press, no, our internals are awful. There's a reason why you can't have her and you got to keep me. Here's Jon Favreau talking about just that, explaining what Joe Biden was doing behind the scenes to the press, and they were obviously adhering to what he was saying.
Joe Biden's decision to run for president again was a catastrophic mistake. It just was. And he and his inner circle, they refused to believe the polls. They refused to believe he was unpopular. They refused to acknowledge until very late that anyone could be upset about inflation. And they just kept telling us that his presidency was historic and it was the greatest economy ever. We just heard him again say that it's the greatest economy ever. Clearly, 70, 80% of voters don't believe that. They don't believe that about their own personal financial situation, but they just keep telling us that. And then after the debate, the Biden people told us that the polls were fine. And Biden was still the strongest candidate. And they were privately telling reporters at the time that Kamala Harris couldn't win. So they were shivving Kamala Harris to reporters while they told everyone else, not a time for an open process, and his vice president can't win, so he's the strongest candidate.
So again, Biden's people telling the press Kamala can't win. They're secretly shivving her to the press, saying that she's an awful candidate, and then 30 minutes after they oust him, he endorses her.
That's pretty clear. And, I don't know if you noticed what she wore on the day she voted. You saw that, right?
Oh, you're talking about Joe Biden?
Jill Biden. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dr. Jill wearing all red.
All red.
It couldn't be more blatant. I mean,
Now there's no coincidences or mistakes there. That was as obvious as it gets.
it's like wearing red to the wedding. It's like wearing red to a wedding. That's what it was.
So they really got their revenge. But if you look at them and you say, well, you must not care that much about the cause, like the ego above the cause, because if they cared about the cause so much, they wouldn't have blown the election.
See, now here's the deal. Blowing the election is important, right? Because Lindy Lee was on Fox and Friends this weekend. And when she was on there, I caught this part. Like I wasn't really paying attention to her until she said this. Then I had to get the entire interview. What's the name? Will Cain, one of the hosts of Fox and Friends Weekend. First, he asked about Biden world versus Kamala Harris world. And then he goes on to ask about Obama world versus the Biden world. And that exchange went just like this. And this is brilliant, by the way. Oh, no. It says I can't open it. No, that's horrible. Hold on. Let me go back to the Biden thing. Here we go. Let me play this piece.
What is the relationship? What has been the relationship throughout the campaign, and what do you think the relationship is today between Biden world and Kamala Harris world?
Well, I have friends, in both worlds. And let me tell you, the relationship was terrible even before the campaign. There was backstabbing. They wanted to hand her the most, least favorable agenda. The legislative priorities. She was stuck with immigration, civil rights, like none of that went
Before
anywhere.
she was even a candidate,
Exactly.
you're saying,
And
as vice president.
there was a lot of backstabbing we saw in the press. People were leaking stuff all the time. The White House leaking like a sieve when it came to Kamala Harris. And finally, in the final year, she was able to stabilize and stop the bleeding of her staff because there was a lot of turnover as well. And we saw the press reports about that. And things have finally started to calm down. And I actually think President Biden, the whole endorsing her 30 minutes after he dropped out, I think that was a big FU to the party. You don't want me, here's somebody that you may not like. But deal with it,
Suggesting that he's sticking the party with Kamala
Kind of like
Harris.
sticking it to the man.
Now, when she said that, sticking it to the man, I thought that was interesting, Greg. Because, again, they don't listen. And I got into this argument with plenty of pundits and plenty of people who are in the know. By the way, we're on the phone with Greg Nicestro of the Daily Caller News Foundation, who, again, had predicted this with me, that no way that they wanted her to win. But Barack Obama, do you know who he was endorsing in the primary? Do you know who his candidate was?
I believe it was Mark Kelly.
That is correct. It was Mark Kelly. That's the reason why immediately after Joe Biden stepped down, Barack Obama puts out a tweet that it essentially says, I can't wait until the convention so that we have a primary where one of, the best candidate will win. And because of Joe Biden saying, oh, you guys want to boot me out, I'm going to give you the worst candidate ever, only says to me, Obama doesn't, because again, your report, and I think you sort of lay all of this stuff out in your piece, which sort of explains the reasoning why they would tank her campaign. Because Barack Obama wants Mark Kelly. He can't wait until 32. Neither can everybody else from Whitmer, Pritzker, Shapiro, and Newsom. Why would they wait that long? They got to strike while the iron is hot.
Why would they wait that long?
Yeah, no, I'm saying, why would they? I'm saying that the thing that sort of capped it, and I think that what really made what I was saying relevant was exactly what you were saying. These guys have to strike while the iron is hot. They can't wait another 8 years to become relevant. No one will even know or care about who they are. Politics are yesterday, not tomorrow.
That's exactly right. And really, they blew it. And Biden led them into the pit of doom, which is actually quite hilarious.
But why let me ask you this, because it seems like you have somewhat of an insight into all of this. What could possibly be the reason that, because again, this could really, really misfire. Because while everyone else is talking about how the Democrats have not reached the working class and how Donald Trump did, how could they bring back one of these people in 2028 and try to win back the coalition that Donald Trump built without Donald Trump completely screwing the pooch on this one?
Well, I think that there may be some miscalculating that has gone on because the margin of his win and the people that he's brought in, it's looking awfully daunting for them now. For the Democrats.
So you're saying that Democrats may not be able to recover because with everyone he's bringing in, I mean, I noticed he just brought in Lee Zeldin for the head of the EPA. He's got what's Miller's first name? Why am I forgetting his name right now? Stephen Miller, right. Stephen Miller is the Vice VP Chief of Staff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Something along those lines. He's got Homan coming back as the border czar, which, of course, is, to me, that's an indirect slap in the face to Kamala Harris, making Homan the border czar, which is laughable.
Giving him the title.
Yeah, giving him the title of border czar is nothing more than beautiful. So the people he's bringing in, if in fact Donald Trump brings back what he said in his speech, the golden age of the United States, the only way Democrats win is to say they're going to be more like Donald Trump.
Well, that's true. But, you know, we have 4 years, which is an eternity.
True.
And anything can happen. But if he delivers the way we think and hope that he will, then it's going to be awfully tough. Because we've got a great bench, and what do they have?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. We do have stars were made I want to say in the last 2 years. I can't think of the amount of people who match the stars from Vivek to J.D. Vance to Byron Donalds to Tulsi Gabbard, of course. I mean, there have been, who is the person you just mentioned? I'm sorry?
Tulsi.
Tulsi, yeah. I mean, you can't, these people are like superstars right now. I mean, they're referring to them as Trump's Avengers, for crying out loud. It's really an uphill battle. And right now, Gretchen Whitmer and even Gavin Newsom, for that matter, they're starting to really look old to the party already because they've been around so long.
Well, and you know what happens with these liberal people. They start looking sickly, and they're not looking too healthy, especially Pritzker.
That's just me.
You see Gavin Newsom and Pritzker already rushing to the front to say, hey, we're gonna be the antagonists. We're going to be the ones to stop him because, you know, this is the time. Who's going to be the one to step up and be the anti-Trump?
Greg, let me tell you this. When I saw Pritzker say that if you mess with any of my people, you're going to have to go through me, the first thing that came to my mind was, Pritzker, if we throw you a ham sandwich, we'll get right through you, big guy.
Yeah,
I
that
could
won't be too hard.
I would distract you with a cheesecake.
Exactly.
Poor guy. Greg Nicestro, thank you so much, sir. Do we have another DC short coming up?
Well, listen, I just had one that went big viral on Twitter. You should check it out. It's a big white pill talking about how Trump winning this time was better than if he would have won in 2020, and the Democrats are regretting it.
Yes, I did see that. I watched it. Yeah, I did watch it this weekend, talking about they should have let him. It's a great piece, by the way. Check it out. Go to Daily Caller News Foundation or to dailycaller.com for Greg Nicestro's DC short. The premise of it is that the Democrats should have let Donald Trump win in 2020. It's really good. I did like that piece.
It's a bit of, I guess you could say, karma or God, whatever supernatural force you want to believe in, but coming through, and it's like you should have let him just win in 2020. You blew it. Now it's really going to be hard for you. It's going to be a lot of suffering for you.
It is. And you know what? Are you guys covering any of these people who are already leaving? You know that one person went on TikTok and filmed themselves driving into Canada. Did you see that?
I saw that. Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be a mass exodus, or do you think it's just going to be few and far between?
No, and I predicted that there wouldn't be much in the way of protests, and there weren't. And I think that they're all burnt out over this Palestine thing, and they're so focused on that it's almost like Trump's secondary now. And I think there's a bit of defeatism on their side where they're feeling like, I guess we lost.
Yeah.
It's not the same fire you had in 2016, so I really think that it's going to die down, and they're going to just lie down and take
I think the popular vote, Greg, is what got them. I think that really took the wind out of their sails because they don't have.
That's fun to brag about too.
Yeah, ain't it?
When the people who want to give you a hard time, you just say, "Hey, you're the minority now, not me."
Indeed. Greg Nicestro, Daily Caller News Foundation. Thank you as always, sir. We'll have you back soon.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
People got to listen to us more.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you. Even your bosses. Tell them to listen to me and you.
Yes, exactly. All right,
You got
see
it,
ya.
buddy. All right, thank you. Let's get another check of your traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Right again, Mark. I'm right again.
Yes, you are, sir. You're always right. You have this amazing track record of being right, so good for you.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Reese, thanks. Coming into Hartford right now, looking at the southbound side of I-91, look for delays from 33 down to 32 A and B. Another bump as you move down by exit 24 in Rocky Hill. And again, you'll just slow a little bit as you move down by exit 17.
Except when I won the how long Cut Mile of speech was.
Wallingford at exit 15.
Yeah, that one you
15
did.
and 16 between a tractor trailer and a vehicle. Delays are back to 13. Behind that, looks like a lot of folks are jumping onto Route 68 and taking the Parkway northbound. That is not an easy ride right now as you move on the Wallingford-Meriden line. We have an accident between 66 and 67. That's taken out the right lane. Delays are back to 66 behind that. Now, if you're on the westbound side of 84, look for delays 56 Governor Street up to 47 Sigourney, 84 eastbound losing some speed in Hartford, 46 up to 48 Capitol Avenue, 291 through 84 okay, 2 westbound slowing exit 4 to the 84 West merge quiet, Middletown, 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing approaching 17 up to exit 18 westbound, 84 is tied up 26 in Cheshire to exit 25 in Waterbury, 84 eastbound in Newtown slowing 10 up to exit 11, South 95 New Haven running slow 46 down to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
The rest of the afternoon, it'll be breezy.
What's going on, Mr. Beckman? Welcome back.
70 degrees. Those west-southwest winds cranking along 10 to 20 miles an hour. Then tonight, clear to partly cloudy, still breezy, the low down to 47. Mostly sunny, windy, and notably cooler on Tuesday. That high of 54, likely to feel like it's only in the 40s with that northwest wind at 12 to 25 miles an hour. Then plenty of sunshine, a chilly day for Wednesday with a high of 48. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
62 degrees at 4:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Cooler but dry and windy tomorrow, as you just heard. Red flag warning has been issued for Hartford, Talent, and Windham counties through tomorrow at 6 p.m. About 80 wildfires are still burning. I-91 north in Wallingford is closed right around exit 15. State police are investigating after a tractor trailer crashed into another vehicle just before 2 p.m. One person transported to a local hospital. That's 91 north in Wallingford, closed around exit 15. Donald Trump will nominate one of his top backers in Washington, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik of New York, as ambassador to the UN. He'll also bring back former ICE chief Tom Homan as border czar. Republicans will choose a Senate Majority Leader this week. Leading contenders are Senators Rick Scott, John Cornyn, and John Thune. CBS's Weijia Zhang says the president-elect wants them to act fast to allow his appointees to take their jobs.
President-elect Trump is also weighing in on the Senate leadership race now that the GOP has taken control of that chamber. In a post, he said that whoever wins should allow him to make recess appointments that don't require Senate approval, but would be temporary, and that they shouldn't approve any judges until he takes office.
New York Times reports anti-immigration figure Stephen Miller will be a deputy chief of staff. A recount tomorrow in Torrington after Election Day issues there. The recount will decide the state House race between incumbent Michelle Cook and Republican challenger Joe Canino. Bristol police identify the pedestrian killed last night as Tony Fassandini of Plainville. The crash happened around 6 at the intersection of Route 72 and Lincoln Ave. The driver is cooperating with police. 1.4 million Honda and Acura vehicles are being investigated for possibly being prone to engine failure.
The issue with a connecting rod has already led to the recall of 250,000 Hondas. Now they've had 173 complaints and vehicles that weren't recalled. The investigation includes big nameplates like the Honda Pilot, Odyssey, and Ridgeline. Honda says it's cooperating in the investigation.
CBS's Jeff Gilbert. On Wall Street, the Dow closed above 44,000 for the first time. It gained 304. S&P was plus 6. The Nasdaq gained 12 points. Sports. When asked if Daniel Jones is still the Giants' starting quarterback, Coach Brian Daboll did not answer yes or no. He said the coaching staff is evaluating things. Monday Night Football, Miami at the Rams. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
I'm elder law attorney Haley Allaire. Our greatest reward is happy clients telling us that they're very thankful for our help.
Hi, I'm Mark, and my family's from Bristol. Allaire Elder Law met my number one goal when I decided to work with them, to make sure my parents and their assets were protected legally so they could enjoy the rest of their time together and not worry about becoming one of the Title 19 horror stories. And our family cannot thank them enough.
Find out more at allaireelderlaw.com. That's ALLAIRE.
Love was in the air, and Cupid got quite a workout at last year's Manchester Road Race. Longtime runners Nithya Cannon and David Kampfman of East Hartford were married near the starting line, and then they ran the course in their wedding attire. As last year's champion Morgan Beatlescombe proposed to his girlfriend Lexi Heeger near the finish line, moments after he won the race. You'll love this year's Manchester Road Race. Enter now at manchesterroadrace.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate.
1 minute.
Site for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It
Who is
starts
that
with a free
unknown on
assessment
3?
from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed...
Oh, I haven't answered it yet.
Oh, okay.
So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. Reese on the Radio, NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. I wanted to play that audio for you, so I apologize because for some odd reason it was corrupted, but I ended up downloading it when we were talking to Greg Nicestro from the Daily Caller News Foundation. This is what the woman Lindy Lee said on Fox and Friends Weekend when asked about Obama World and how they were responding to the I guess, let's say, coronation of Kamala Harris. Lindy Lee, who, again, is a bungler for the Harris campaign, pretty much getting donors to give her millions of dollars to put into the campaign. She explains it like this, and here's the question by Will Kane as well. Why is it not playing? Okay, here it is.
I asked you what the relationship was between Biden world and Kamala Harris world, and you told me it was bad. It was bad predating the campaign. Where does Obama world fit in this? There's. I don't want to break the Democratic Party into these, three fiefdoms because there's probably more. Nancy Pelosi is a huge power player, but Barack Obama, the Obama world, is a huge player. How do they fit in the tension or the happiness of Democrats?
That's a really good question. I want to point out that they waited 3 days. Michelle and Barack Obama waited 3 days to
They waited 4.
endorse Kamala Harris. It was a silence heard around the world. And prior to Biden's endorsement that no one really anticipated, they were vetting people like Mark Kelly. Kamala Harris wasn't at the top of the ticket. So Biden's endorsement of Harris caught a lot of people off guard, even the chieftains of the party. I really think it was a big FU. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, she ended up cursing on the air. They had to bleep it out. So yeah, she knew it. Everybody else knew it. It's a big FU. And again, remember, the party, they're the ones who are saying who they're going to install. Right? Now, what do we, again, and folks, we got to let history be our guide here. 2016, Bernie Sanders was organically kicking butt on the campaign trail. His rallies rivaled that of Donald Trump in 2015 and 2016. But they gave Hillary Clinton a head start. When we had the John Podesta email hack, what did we find out? Donna Brazile was feeding her answers. They were clearly handing her to superdelegates. They were cheating Bernie Sanders. And when he found out about it, instead of going out and saying, nah, screw this, he took the L and then told his supporters, nah, no harm, no foul, which is only added to their loss. So we know that the apparatus is always, they're installing their candidates. And Kamala Harris wasn't installed, so they tanked her. Let's get another check of the traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, you're going to see some slow traffic moving into Hartford from exit 33 down to 32A and B, and then a little bump as you move down by the Route 9 interchange at exit 22, and some more slow traffic 19 to 17 in Meriden. Now, 91 northbound is shut down in Wallingford at exit 15. Serious accident occurred between exit 15 and 16 in Wallingford. Tractor trailer and a vehicle there. Delays back to 13 in North Haven. Behind that issue, a lot of folks jumping onto Route 68 and jumping north on the Parkway to get around this. Well, unfortunately, there's an accident also on the Parkway northbound between 66 and exit 67. So you've got delays approaching exit 66. Behind that, the right lane is blocked northbound on the Parkway. Now, back into Hartford, westbound 84, you're tied up 56 Governor Street out to 47 Sigourney Street, 84 eastbound, losing some speed between 46 and 48 Capitol Avenue, 291 through 84, okay, 2 westbound slows, exit 4 to the 84 west merge. 9 northbound Middletown slowing at the Aragoni Bridge, 84 westbound Cheshire slows 26
Jesus
to 25.
Christ, Roland, what are they doing?
84
Writing a
eastbound
book over there?
Waterbury sluggish traffic 17 up to the Mixmaster. On the eastbound side of 84, look for delays in Newtown from 9 up to exit 10. And if you're heading into New Haven, 95 southbound slow traffic 46 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
As we make our way through the rest of the evening and overnight, it'll be partly cloudy and breezy for us. The low down to 47. Now much cooler as we make our way on into our Tuesday. A high of 54. Going to feel quite a bit cooler than that with a big breeze out of the northwest at 15 to 25 miles an hour. Now, the gusty winds, low humidity, and dry brush are going to again result in a high fire threat for Tuesday. Plenty of sunshine, a chilly day on Wednesday, the high only 48. Still 48 on Tuesday with periods of sun. Friday, we get a little bump in temperatures, partly sunny, the high up to 56. Saturday, breezy, otherwise a mix of clouds and sun, the high of 54. Currently, Danbury at 63, Mansfield also 63, Hartford at 64. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
It's Alice Shattuck, and I've lost 70 pounds since having my 5th baby a year ago. It's all thanks to Awaken 180 Weight Loss, and you can do it too. Just book your first appointment today by calling 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
If you or someone you care about has been injured in an accident, you need the Carter Mario Law Firm, Connecticut's firm for the injured. We are ready to fight for you 24/7. So go to getcarter.com or call us at 877-GET-CARTER.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
Woman.
He has thousands of jewelry
Got it.
styles, artisan diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax? Yes. Another round? Yes.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hold still. Oh, this is only going to hurt a little. It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Let's get right back to the phones on News Talk 1080 WTIC. Natalie is on the line. How you doing, Natalie?
I am doing well, Reese. Happy Veterans Day to you.
Happy Veterans Day to you. What do you got for me today?
Yes, I think that we need to stop telling the left what they did wrong. We need to stop.
You know what? I'm inclined to agree with you to some. But look, I kind of feel like this, Natalie. I don't really think that they would bother to listen to us. They think everything we believe is wrong. They believe everything that we say is a lie. So even if we do tell them, they'll never listen. Because this is interesting. Natalie, you bring up a good point, because if I'm sure you've been in these conversations before, you'll be talking to somebody on the left and they'll mention their point of view and then codify their comment by or mentioning a Republican who agrees with them, right? They'll be like, even Dick Cheney says, they'll do something like that, right? And so in my response to them is always, oh, so now the Republican is relevant because they see it your way. So I agree with you. I agree with you on one sense, saying, look, let's not give them the playbook for which they can win. But I believe they're so stubborn and arrogant, they wouldn't listen anyway.
But then you know what? They love power.
That's true.
So I believe some of them can do is say what the voters want to hear, and then once they regain power, they do what the hell they want.
That's true. Right. They'll go back. They'll promise all of this stuff about, we're going to let go of the woke stuff. No, we're back to normal now.
Absolutely.
No harm, no foul. Wow. That LGBTQ thing, we were just kidding. We're just kidding.
Until they regain power. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's sad, but it seems like the American society really don't think of or vote for the people on the right until things are really bad.
Yeah, you're right.
Once things get good again, they forget. They lose that memory.
Yeah, that's such a good point. You're right. You know what? I'm inclined to some degree to agree with you, Natalie. Great point. Great point. I just know in one part of me, I think that they're probably too arrogant to consider it. But you know what? Anything can happen. Donald Trump could be really, really successful. And then finally they can have a come to Jesus moment and go, you know what? This is actually working. You know?
No, I don't want them to get there. I don't want their eyes to open. No.
Look, talk about hope. She doesn't want a hopeful future where they see it our way. Keep
with them. No, not with them.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Natalie.
Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Thank you. Good. Natalie's got a great accent. I was almost inclined to ask her to say, call me now. I swear to God. It was in. All of you were thinking it. 860-522-WTIC. White Mike is in Florida. What's going on, sir?
Hey, man, I just got home from work.
Uh-huh.
Glass of E&J apple brandy.
Okay.
Because I keep it real and I have flavor.
That's right.
So, anyway, I'll tell you what cracks me up, man. I follow liberals on X and Reddit, and I'm watching them with their new conspiracy theory about vote totals.
Okay.
Have you heard this one?
No. It doesn't have anything to do with the 10 million votes that mysteriously, or if not obviously, disappeared from the last election to this one?
So, in 2012 and 2016, the Democrat got about 65 million votes.
Yes.
In 2020, Joe Biden got 81 million votes. And in 2024, Kamala Harris got 65 million votes.
Right. I think it's up to like 71 now.
So that tells me that the ceiling for Democrat votes in this country is about 65 million votes.
Correct.
Roughly, right? So they're saying, what happened to these voters? Did they go vote for Trump? Or did they not vote? Well, you spent 4 years telling them that Trump is Hitler and he's orange Nazi.
Right.
So I kind of doubt they were demotivated to vote.
Right.
And they also didn't vote for him.
Right.
And the Democrat liberals have worked out that they didn't count those votes. The people voted this time, and Trump pulled a shenanigans and didn't count them.
Right.
When the actual truth is those votes never existed.
Couldn't agree with you more, because where is Donald Trump today versus 2020? He's roughly about the same amount he got in 2020. And here's the crazy part. His coalition broadened, right? He gets black votes, Latino votes. I think the only place he hemorrhaged was like college-educated white women, right? That's where he hemorrhaged. But he gained in women, he gained in black, he gained clearly in Latino, cleaned it up with Latino men, right? So his coalition broadens, but he comes up with the same amount that he got in 2020, and they're short 10 million votes. How?
So what they're doing by their complaining is drawing attention to the fact that those votes never existed and Joe Biden stole the election.
Indeed.
And I think that Joe Biden's whole thing with endorsing Kamala 30 minutes after he dropped and basically screwing the party over is him saying, I played ball with you. I was complicit in the greatest scam in American electoral history.
Yep.
And you're going to treat me like this? You get stuck with this shit.
Yep.
How dare you?
Yeah.
And to be fair, no matter that people mentioned Pritzker and Whitmer and Shapiro, none of those people, because Joe Biden waited so long, had the pull to raise enough money to compete with Kamala Harris's bankroll.
Right.
And she was going to get the Joe Biden bankroll because by law it had to go to her.
Right. And you're right about, I think Gavin Newsom, although out of all of the others, from Kelly to Pritzker to Whitmer, all of those people, Gavin Newsom was the only person with national name recognition. But I only believe it was about 50%. He didn't have a considerable lead on this.
Dude, they can't run. J.B. Pritzker is talking all this stuff. J.B. Pritzker is unelectable.
Yes.
Nobody in America is voting for a sleazy Chicago politician.
Not again.
Nationwide office. Not, especially, and America doesn't vote for big fat people. Right? They voted for Trump. Trump's fat, but Trump is a big dude.
Yeah.
J.B. Pritzker he's like they would put in a political cartoon about Tammany Hall.
Yeah.
Right? He's a fat, greedy politician. They'd have him eating plates full of oysters and lobster with like donors' names on them. He's unelectable.
And not only that, he's a billionaire. He captures the entire idea of overweight billionaire rich guy.
Yeah, he's a sleazebag.
Yeah.
And Shapiro's not electable because Democrats have decided that the litmus test for their candidate is going to be, what do you think about Israel?
Yep.
And Josh Shapiro is not going to be able to say, well, I don't really support them because they'll find out he has dual citizenship and it's over.
Yeah.
Gretchen Whitmer's not electable because she is a scary Botox foreheaded monster who no man's going to vote for.
I don't know. Wait. Is it confirmed that she uses Botox?
Dude, have you seen her forehead? She's like a Bizarro World Klingon. There's not a wrinkle.
Okay, I will admit there's a little bit of that. There's a little Klingon thing going on there. That much I will agree.
Her forehead is cue ball smooth, and no woman in her 50s has a forehead like that. And Gavin
You're
Newsom,
gonna get me killed.
And Gavin Newsom, I mean, if you want to vote for a sleazy porn producer, that's who he reminds me of. He reminds me of somebody who's a sleazy porn producer.
Okay, that one I will sanction. I will totally. That smile. Listen to me. That guy. I look at that guy and he reminds me of Dick Dastardly. Do you remember that?
Yeah, he's just evil. So the Democrats are going to have to figure out they need to find somebody who's schlumpy and weird and maybe a regular guy like an iron worker, somebody who's a real person.
Well, I think that was the reason why Barack Obama picked Mark Kelly. He's an astronaut, for crying out loud.
Yeah, yes, because the road to victory is voting for the guy who is the biggest gun-grabbing communist in Congress.
Because
that's a winner.
But they would run like the Dickens away from that about him because he is a big gun grabber. They would run from that. They would push the whole. They would push the whole astronaut thing because that, in essence, space exploring. It screams of what's the. Not Buzz Aldrin, but I was thinking more fictional. What was the character from I Dream of Jeannie? What was his name?
Major Nelson.
Yeah, Major Nelson. It screams of Major Nelson, astronaut-like.
They're going to have to find a regular person, somebody who's had a job. Maybe John Fetterman if he wasn't brain damaged. That guy, kind of a blue-collar guy. But the Democrats are stuck. because they have based so much of their platform on radical social politics
Yeah.
that they can't turn away from their base.
Yep.
They can come out and be like, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't kill babies after the first trimester. and maybe you shouldn't transition 5-year-olds, and maybe drag queens should not be teaching kids, and maybe we shouldn't block off whole blocks of our city to Pride Month every June.
Yeah.
Maybe we should come back to normalcy.
Yeah.
If they do that, they lose their base.
Indeed. Thank you, Mike.
Yes,
that was
sir.
extensive. Thank you. I think he just pretty much coined the entire campaign in a nutshell. Let's go to Dave in Windsor Locks. How you doing, Dave?
Hey, how you doing, man? Good talking to you again. I'm glad you made it home okay.
I made it home great. I got to talk about that in a little bit because my wife did something absolutely amazing when I got home, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. What do you got, sir?
I got you, but hey, you know what I wanted to say, man? Do you know who Charlie Kirk is, right?
Yeah, of course, sure.
Oh my God! So this guy, we have to give a major. I mean, tell me, get the songs are playing,
right?
Because this guy went to college campuses and educated these young guys on how they have been brainwashed, and he may be the reason why we went over the edge this time.
I hope you want. Listen to me. There is two people that I think that are fit in the category you're talking about, and oddly enough, he is an unsung hero in this, with the exception of Charlie Kirk.
He really is.
Charlie Kirk was. You're right. You're 100% right. In fact, when we had our meet and greet on Wednesday at Wooden Tap, I talked about how Charlie Kirk going to those college campuses and making Donald Trump hip to kids was huge, because we saw it in the election. He gained with young people.
Oh my God!
Donald Trump became a phenomenon amongst the young people. But another person who assisted there that isn't getting the kudos that he deserves is young Barron Trump, his son. He was the one who...
I was just going to go there next.
Yeah.
Because my daughter, who is 19 years old, told me about him.
Yeah, Barron the
And
Quiet.
I had no idea.
What a quiet warrior he is. He was such a quiet warrior in all of this, but he was the one.
I had no idea. My young daughter told me this.
Yeah, his telling of Donald Trump to go to the Nelk Boys and do the podcast with like Leo Vaughn, things like that, that those are things that his son listened to and he knew his friends listened to. It was brilliant. He was quiet about it. You didn't even see Barron in and around his father when he was doing these things. So it didn't really look like he was pushing his dad. He just sort of introduced him to him, and look at the new sort of base that Donald Trump now had to work with or got within the electorate. It was amazing that his son had done it.
And because CNN and MSNBC doesn't work anymore, because everyone young doesn't even know what that means.
Think about this. And again, in my stupidest thing that I read today, here is CNN today talking about how the left demonized Joe Rogan and turned around, and it could have been the deciding factor for this election. Now they're saying, and they seem to forget that they were the first to demonize a Joe Rogan when he came out and started using ivermectin. They demonized him, vilified him.
They laughed at him.
Yeah, they laughed at him. Yeah, it's insane. And he ends up being
Mr. Horse pills. Yeah.
And he ends up being their undoing, which again, leads me. I don't believe in karma, but I do believe in comeuppance.
Listen, this is something great, man, and we're involved in it, and I love it. Hey, and one more thing.
Yes, sir.
I know a movie theater in Agawam, Massachusetts.
Okay.
That is a small theater, and they would love any time to
host an event
on any little guys. Yeah, to watch any movie we want to. And they would open it up to our doors.
Okay.
And it's literally just on the brink of Connecticut. So anyone knows Agawam, Massachusetts, knows where Suffield, Windsor Locks.
Oh, okay. I know where it is. Okay.
Enfield. Yeah. So, let's think about it.
Okay, you got it. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated there, Dave. All right, we got to take a break coming up in a second because we're going to get to the BPS Traffic Center, but we'll take your calls when we return. Also, stand by because, of course, the 5 o'clock focus is coming up. So let's take another check of our traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, thank you very much, Reese. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, 91 southbound, look for delays 34 down to just after exit 33 Jennings Road. We had an accident in the middle of the highway. It's been pushed over to the right shoulder now. It's all gawking at this point. South of downtown, you're looking good until you get down into Meriden. You'll get some slow traffic from 19 to 17 as you head down toward the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Now, on the northbound side of 91, that is shut down at exit 15 in Wallingford because of a tractor-trailer vehicle accident between 15 and 16 on the Wallingford-Meriden line. So everybody jumping off the highway at exit 15. They are taking Route 68 to the northbound on the Parkway. We had an accident between 66 and 67, but it looks like that accident's cleared now. So the Parkway is going to start moving better northbound as you move Wallingford into Meriden. Now on the northbound side of 91, that looks good. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor, 291, 384, okay. 2 westbound, just a little slow as you merge with 84 west. Middletown looks good, 90 in the Aragoni Bridge. If you're heading into Waterbury right now, look for some slow traffic on the westbound side of 84 between 26 and 25A in Waterbury. 84 eastbound, Waterbury slows 17 to 18. If you're traveling southbound 91 in the Parkway, both moving well, heading down in toward New Haven. 95 southbound delays 46 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, the rest of our Monday, it'll be breezy and warm. Temperature approaching the record of 72, last reached in 2022 with some sunshine, but falling just a little short, the high of 70. Then tonight, clear to partly cloudy, breezy, the low down to 47. It'll be mostly sunny, windy, and notably cooler for our Tuesday. Now, that high of 54, likely to feel like it's in the 40s at best throughout much of the day, with that northwest wind at 12 to 25 miles an hour. Now, much cooler, a chilly day on Wednesday, plenty of sun, the high only 48. Periods of sun Thursday, even cooler with the high only 44. We begin a bit of a warming trend as we head toward the weekend. Friday, it'll be partly sunny, the high moving up to 53.
Ridiculous
Saturday,
pressure.
breezy, otherwise a mix of clouds and sun, a touch milder with the high up to 54. Partly sunny Sunday, the high of 57 to round out the weekend. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
60 degrees, 5 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Cooler but dry and windy tomorrow. A red flag warning now issued for Hartford, Talent, and Windham counties through tomorrow at 6 p.m. About 80 wildfires are still being monitored statewide. I-91 north in Wallingford closed around exit 15. State police are investigating after a tractor-trailer collided with another vehicle just before 2 p.m. One person transported to the hospital. It's 91 north in Wallingford closed between exits 15 and 16, and it has been for several hours. The incoming presidential administration is developing. Donald Trump will nominate an enthusiastic supporter, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik of New York, as ambassador to the UN. He will also bring back Tom Homan as border czar. Homan was responsible for the family separation policy in the first Trump term, and he recently suggested on 60 Minutes that families could be deported together, even if some of the family members are American citizens. CBS's Christian Benavides.
Homan recommended the zero-tolerance policy during Trump's first administration, resulting in undocumented immigrants being separated from family members who were citizens. He told 60 Minutes this time will be different.
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Another anti-immigration hardliner, Stephen Miller, will be named Deputy Chief of Staff. Congress back to work tomorrow. Republicans will choose a Senate Majority Leader this week. Leading contenders are Senators Rick Scott, John Cornyn, John Thune. A recount tomorrow in Torrington after Election Day issues there. The recount will decide the state House race between incumbent Michelle Cook and Republican challenger Joe Canino. On this Veterans Day, President Biden made his traditional appearance at Arlington National Cemetery.
This is the last time I will stand here at Arlington as Commander-in-Chief. It's been the greatest honor of my life to lead you, to serve you, to care for you, to defend you, just as you defended us generation after generation after generation.
Governor Lamont attending ceremonies in Middletown and New Haven.
This is a time where you remind your children and grandchildren, if they see a veteran, just shake their hand and ask them about their service and what service meant, and thank them for what they did.
Bristol police now identify the pedestrian killed last night as 62-year-old Tony Fassandini of Plainville. The crash happened around 6 p.m. at the intersection of Route 72 and Lincoln Ave. The driver is cooperating with police. Several airlines have canceled flights to Haiti for at least the next few days. That's after a Spirit Airlines flight was damaged by gunfire on its way to the capital, Port-au-Prince. It was reportedly shot at from the ground. The flight was coming from Fort Lauderdale. It circled around Port-au-Prince before being diverted to the Dominican Republic, where it landed safely. And they're still trying to catch monkeys in South Carolina. Several dozen escaped last week from a medical research facility.
2 more have been captured, so now we are up to 27 of the 43 that were on the loose. Efforts out there are to put out these traps, very humane traps that have a fruit trail leading up to it. And as they get in that trap, the door just gently closes. And they are curious, they are hungry. They want everything from apples to bananas to peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
CBS's Dave Malkoff. On Wall Street, the Dow closed above 44,000 for the first time. It gained 304 points. S&P was plus 6. The NASDAQ was plus 12. Sports, UConn now number 2 in the AP Top 25 Women's Basketball poll. Sarah Strong, the Big East Freshman of the Week, after her impressive debut. Monday Night Football in Miami at the Rams. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Ooh, ma. What was that?
Oh, a minute.
This phone blipped with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
If fashion is your thing, eBay is it. eBay's where I find all my favorites, from handbags to iconic streetwear, all authenticated. For real. This time, a little Supreme, some Gucci. I even have that vintage Prada on my watch list. That's why eBay's my go-to for all my... Yeah, eBay. The place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay. Things people love.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man. Yeah, baby, the 5 o'clock focus. We are back in full effect right here on News Talk 1080 WTIC. Your phone calls at 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. The 5 o'clock focus. It is just, within a week of the election. And I've got one question. What is your wish or wish list for the new administration here in Connecticut? What are you hoping the Trump administration does that affects your lives here in the state? Now, I know the obvious one, bring down the price of gas, bring down the price of food, bring back the price of everything, rent, all that other good stuff. But if you've got a wish list, like if you've got something beyond that, I know what the obvious stuff is. But if you're hoping that he can restore something, maybe bring attention to something in the state, or even just for you, even if it's on a broad scope, because I want to prove something here. And again, you can prove me wrong, but I do believe as conservatives, even as MAGA folks, what I believe is that what we want on our wish list actually helps everyone. I believe that altruism is the core tenet of who we are as conservatives. We don't see ourselves in like this one, myopic way. I want this for me. I want them to do this and they say my pronouns. I think we want something good for all of us. I really do. I do. So tell me what your wish list is for the campaign at 860-522-WTIC. Also, by the way, before we get into the traffic, I want to say that I have to go away for at least a week every 6 months because when I come home, I don't know what happened, but I get bread made for me I've got my wife made honey butter. I got grapes. She baked me chocolate chip cookies. I thought I came home to a bread and breakfast. When I got back home, I was treated like a god. I'm telling you, I have no idea what I did other than go away for a week, Mark Christopher, in the BPS Traffic Center. I come back, Mark. I come back and I had honey butter, bread, sourdough made. You know how I feel about sourdough. She had sourdough bread. I had grapes and chocolate chip cookies, baked chocolate chip cookies when I got home. And my wife was like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you." I got the joyous look and the hug. I haven't been treated like, I'm telling you, I thought I came back from war.
You're gonna have to. You were like on the cover of Life magazine, and your wife was just grabbing you.
Oh yeah, it was like I'd been gone for a year, and it's been that way since I've been back. I have to go at least every 6 months. I would go away for a week.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you got to work that into your agreement with Odyssey Radio. That there has to be travel at least twice a year. So
there you go.
Keep the good stuff coming. Hey, thank you very much, Reese. If you're heading into Hartford right now, 91 southbound delays, 35 down to 33. We have an accident on the right shoulder just after 33 Jennings Road. Northbound 91. We're seeing that problem down in Wallingford persist right now. Northbound 91 shut down at exit 15 in Wallingford because of a tractor trailer versus vehicle crash between 15 and 16. People are jumping off the highway, getting onto Route 68, and then taking the Parkway northbound to get around that problem. So the Parkway's still a little slow between 66 and 67 as you move up toward 91 North in Meriden. Now, if you're on the westbound side of 84, you've got slow traffic from the Bulkley out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slows 46 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. If you are traveling 91 southbound, once again, they got that accident on the right shoulder at 33 Jennings Road. 291 through 84, okay, 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury into Marlboro. Quiet Middletown. 84 westbound in Waterbury delays 26 to 25. 84 eastbound Waterbury tied up from 17 to 18. And 84 eastbound in Newtown, you're slowing from 10 up to exit 11. South 95 New Haven tied up from 46 to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
As we make our way through the evening and overnight, expect clear skies, breezy and cooler conditions for us as we move forward. We'll be looking at quite a bit of a breeze as we head on. Oops, sorry, wrong one here. Sorry, I get the wrong data pulled up. There we go. All right. Partly cloudy, breezy tonight, the low 47. Cooler as we make our way into Tuesday. Mostly sunny. Those gusty winds, the low humidity and dry brush going to continue with that high fire threat again on Tuesday. The high of 55 will maybe feel like upper 40s at best with that busy northwest wind, 15 to 25 miles an hour throughout the day. Plenty of sun. A chilly day on Wednesday, the high 48. Still chilly Thursday. Periods of sun. The high of 48 again. Partly sunny Friday. Starts to warm up a touch as we make our way toward the weekend. The high up to 56. Saturday, breezy in the morning. Otherwise, a mix of clouds and sun, though a touch cooler. The high of 54. Currently, it is 64 in Meriden, 64 in Granby, also 64 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Join us for a night to remember at the United Way of Central and Northeastern Connecticut's Centennial Gala. Let's unite and forge a new path to end poverty. Mark your calendars for December 14th at the Connecticut Convention Center and get your tickets at UnitedWayInc.org.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Do you have shoe boxes full of old video with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. LegacyBox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at LegacyBox.com/value.
The 5 o'clock focus. The 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man. 5 o'clock focus right here on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. I keep forgetting I put the mute button on my microphone. Let's get to the phone calls. 860-522-WTIC. What do you have on your wish list for this administration? We're a week out. 6 days. It might as well be a week out. We're a week out from the election. Donald Trump has made some promises, and we believe that he's going to keep them. But what are those things, other than the obvious? If you've got some off-the-beaten-path stuff that you want him to address, and you're seeing that the cabinet is starting to get formed, a lot of names that you know, some that you might not, tell us, what do you think? And what are your high hopes? Let's go to our good friend Frank in Woodbridge. We haven't talked to in a while. Hey. What's going on here?
The first thing is to lower taxes for me.
Absolutely, my friend. So lowering taxes is your wish list. And are you talking about a particular bracket, or are you talking about for, I guess, the average everyday schmo?
No, I'm talking about the top bracket I'm in. Nothing gets any higher to be to the sky. But I want to tell you how important this election was for 50,000 people in America right now.
When you say, okay, who are these 50,000?
They're in a federal prison.
Oh.
Their sentence is going to expire the next 4 years.
Okay.
These 50,000 people had an opportunity. They made a tragic mistake. Thank God my family did not make this mistake.
Mm-hmm.
They refused to give up their citizenship. So now, when their sentence expires in the next 4 years, I don't know who it is. It's either the state attorney or the president. All he has to do is sign a piece of paper. The day their sentence expires, they're gone.
Right.
They're on the plane. They're out of here. If you were going to live in this country, you have to become an American citizen.
Mm-hmm.
And don't tell me it's impossible for you to commit a federal crime. There are so many people in prison right now, Reese, that were nowhere within 20 miles of a crime, and they're in prison because of one word: conspiracy.
You know, Fred, you say something. I saw this guy online on TikTok. My wife said it to me. I think it's going to be tomorrow's monologue. But this guy says that he is a legal immigrant. I think he's from Haiti. And he said that one thing that Donald Trump could do, which would be really impressive, was to tell anyone in this country, if you got here illegally, you have no right to become an American citizen ever. And he sort of gave the comparison to a child who had stolen something from a grocery store or from a candy store. You would never, like if you caught your child stealing a candy, you wouldn't just, ostracize the child or punish the child and allow them to keep the item that they stole. They would be forced to give that thing back and reprimand it. So if you stole citizenship here, you should never ever be allowed to get it until you start over, give it back, and start from the beginning.
Right, but these people made the mistake. Came here legally. They were thick-headed. Now, my father did not want to give up our Italian citizenship.
Oh, you're talking about those, right? You're talking about those people who came.
Right. Those people had a chance to become a citizen before they committed the crime. But they wouldn't give up. They wouldn't give it up. And the lawyers told my father, Joe, you got to give it up. And we did. Because we were doing minor things back then, like buying gold, which was a federal crime. If we got caught, forget about going to prison. We're out of here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be talking to you right now. So we gave up our Italian citizenship. And what does that mean? Well, we can commit any crime we want right now. Not that we're gonna, but you can't deport my family.
Right.
We're
I don't think, listen, if we're 100% right about the taxes, and I do, look, the top percent here, and this night, and what I always love that from the left is that they say, when they talk about tax breaks for the wealthy, they immediately start going to the trickle-down economics, and every bozo thinks it's like, yeah, Reagan. I'm like, no, Will Rogers, stupid. It's like they always attribute it to Reagan. No person has ever made the policy, no politician has ever made the policy of trickle-down economics. It is a Will Rogers.
You know what I pay in federal taxes? I pay 37% federal, 7 state. That's 44. So what do I got left? 56?
Yeah.
Wrong. I got to give somebody half that because, what are you going to do? You got to take care of your wife. So basically, if you add everything up, I'm in the 72% tax bracket.
A lot of people, you know what? And listen, if you want to end that argument, ask any one of these bleeding heart liberals. Let's tax every dollar. How much of $1 should one tax?
They never go to a flat tax.
They can't exactly, but they can't answer it every time I ask a liberal that. Tell me how much of $1. You may remember very early on when I got here, Tim and Hamden and I had that very discussion. Tell me how much of $1 every rich person should be taxed, and he couldn't ask. He couldn't answer it.
We should have, for example, the first $25,000 for single or tax-free. Married's 50. After that, everybody pays 10%. No write-offs.
Yeah, no doubt.
Everybody pays their fair share. But they won't do that.
Yeah, nope, because, of course, they need those wealthy donors. Thank you, Frank, as always, sir. You got it. Let's go to Mike is in Plainfield. How you doing, sir?
I'll tell you what, I'm wide awake after hearing Natalie a little while ago.
Yeah, don't give them any. Don't give the left any ideas. They may steal them.
I'm telling you, man, what a voice, huh?
Doesn't she have? I said I was almost tempted to say, Natalie Spleece, they call me now. Just say it once.
Now, I hear people saying Happy Veterans Day. I don't think it's a happy day. It's a day of remembrance.
Mm-hmm.
It's a day of sacrifice, and it's a day of recognition. There's not much happiness on Veterans Day, other than the fact that the families are happy to have their loved ones home.
Mm-hmm.
Me included. My son served 20 years in the Army. He got out in 2016, and I see him every week, and it's awesome.
That's great. That is great.
There's not much more I can say.
Okay. Well, no, that I appreciate, and thank you for thank you for sharing that with us. And please, to your son, tell us, Mike. Please tell your son thank you for his service.
I will. I want to make one more comment. President Trump.
Yeah.
You probably laugh when I say this, but if you're going to make any changes, pass an executive order to leave the clocks alone. Leave it on daylight time.
Yeah, I agree with you there. A lot of, you know what? I wasn't on board a couple of years back, but I think I'm on board now. I think I'm there.
Oh, and one more. White Mike from Florida.
Yes.
I could talk to that guy all day. He sounds like
Isn't he great? Hey, he's been my friend for 14 years. I love that guy.
Really?
Yes.
Really? He's a great friend. I love to meet the guy sometime.
Oh man, you trust me. He's worth every He's worth every phone call. I love that guy. Thank you,
sir.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you, sir. Let's go to who's my next up. Oh, Aaron. Aaron's in Goshen. Hey, what's up, Aaron?
What's going on, Reese? So, something I'm looking forward to, and I think the rest of the country's looking forward to. No tax on overtime.
Absolutely. Listen to me. I thought that was so lofty, and for people when he started saying it, I was just going, could he possibly pull that off? There's a likelihood, but I think that's got momentum unheard of. Like that's got a momentum unheard of.
That will create so much American prosperity, and the simple fact that people will actually go to work and want to work overtime because, hey, if you work overtime and you're already kind of in like a middle bracket and that bumps you up to the next, you don't get to see any of that money. It's horrible. I mean, it's literally like you're going to work and you end up working 10 extra hours.
Right. And that,
what'd you make? An extra $200?
Aaron, that's the crazy part, because I remember working this sort of hourly wage, and I was I remember the first time I'd ever like seen real taxes working at a corporate job, and I'd done so much overtime. It was before I became a salary employee, and I had all of this overtime, and I was really excited. I was making all this extra overtime. But then when I filed my taxes, it turns out that I was being punished for that in a way that it was like, holy crap, like what the heck did I do wrong? I worked harder. Why am I being punished for this?
It's counterproductive to the American dream, the American prosperity. The other thing I'll say, too, going back to the topic that you had prior.
Yes.
Don't sleep on your good friend, Chris Murphy, because that would be a person that the Democrats would run that fills and checks most of those boxes that you guys
it's a good point.
Were bringing up.
It is a good point.
And he has been pretty much running unopposed. I mean, we do run some Republicans against that Democrat, but for the most part, he's holding on to all that campaign money.
That's right.
And don't count him out, because I mean, he really could resonate with normal people. He looks like a normal guy, acts like a normal guy.
Yeah, but not when you put not when you put a football on your kitchen counter. He looked like a clown. I was so ticked off at that.
But at the same point too, you just have to fool all the people some of the time.
That's indeed. You know what? It's so funny. I don't know whether or not you saw this, but I did. I feel like he didn't really run a considerable campaign until the end of it. You know what I mean? Like
I felt like he was running for president, and he was running against Trump when he was running against.
Exactly. Look at that debate. That debate against Matt Corey. The whole debate all he did was talk about Donald Trump.
And then there was a referendum against Trump the whole time.
Indeed.
So what does that tell you? He's going to want to. He is going to be putting his hat in the ring, and he is, unfortunately, I mean, he is an electable guy. I mean, he's not, unless we can find something that he's done wrong for Connecticut, which I'm sure
plenty.
We should start holding his feet to the fire and putting him under a microscope.
Yeah, indeed.
And holding him accountable for some of the shady stuff he does. But I mean, he's involved overseas. He's involved with Ukraine. He's involved with what is going on with our money that is leaving this country.
Yep.
So he's right there in the mix, and he has all these accreditations to put himself and his hat in the ring.
Yeah, we need to start. You're right.
We Gavin Newsom.
We need to start considering.
He didn't destroy a whole state.
We need to start considering him, and again, as a senator and running unopposed. Yeah, he's got. You know what? He is trying to get a national name for himself. So you're right on point there, Aaron. I definitely will not ignore that anymore.
Let's put him under the microscope and see what he does.
Exactly. Thank you, sir.
Point out his malnutrition.
You got.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Chris in Berlin before we go to the break. How we doing, Chris?
Hi, how are you, Reese? It's funny, I'm following that last guy. I've been on hold for a long time.
Sorry.
That's okay. I was listening to a panel, which I'm kind of sick of, the postmortems on the election.
Right.
And you were talking about the candidates for 2028.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I listened to this one is because James Carville was on, and I love him.
Okay.
I just think he's brilliant and he's funny, and sometimes I don't understand what he's saying because that Nolans accent. Anyway, they were talking.
She's definitely going to win. She's going to win, and they need to destroy Donald Trump.
Anyway, they were talking about 2028, and they were talking about, like you said, Newsom and Whitmer, and Shapiro, and at the end he said, "Wait a minute." He says, "You're not mentioning Chris Murphy." He said he's young, he's good looking, and he's a brilliant politician. He said, so don't discount him for 2028. That was from James Carville.
That's interesting. Okay. All right. Yeah. Now he's definitely on the radar.
All the weekend political shows, Chris Murphy's on all of it.
Oh, he's all exactly. That's listen, that's the reason why I've got him in my crosshairs. That's why I like mentioning my best friend Chris Murphy. Because again, I tell you, everybody says he's looking for Secretary of State, but now that's possibly, that's foregone, right? He's got to come somewhere else. But you're right, he is making a national name for himself, and he's pulling. Yeah. He's pulling
and
that.
Somebody told me, this is years ago when he ran against Lieberman, and I said I'm not supporting him. And somebody told, what are you talking about? He's blah, blah, blah. He's going to be president someday.
Wow.
This is a political guy said this to me. And I said, no, he's not. Nobody from Connecticut's going to be president. Do you know, he wanted me to work for him. Do you know that the next Saturday morning I got a phone call from Washington, D.C. It was Chris Murphy.
Really?
Yeah, he's a worker.
Yeah, listen, but he's got to stop. Listen, let me tell you something. The thing about Chris, I'll tell you this about Chris Murphy. Chris Murphy is stealing from Chuck Schumer's playbook because Schumer made himself a national name by holding a Sunday press conference every day in New York over the silliest things. Like he would hold a press conference about his problem with how broom handles were made. I kid you not. That's how Schumer became national. He held a press conference every Sunday about something that he was aggrieved about. And it would be the most ridiculous stuff. And every news network in New York had to cover it every day. It was annoying. And Murphy's going the same route. And of course, no matter, Fox News wants to have on a Democrat as often as possible. And he is the sacrificial lamb for the Democrat Party. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. You know what? She's right. We got to consider him. We got to consider him. Let's get another check of the traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91, got some delays as you approach 33 Jennings Road. We have an accident on the right shoulder just after 33 Jennings Road, so that's slowing you down there a little bit. Once you get south of that, you're moving very well as you move down in toward the Cromwell-Meriden area. Northbound 91 still shut down at exit 15 in Wallingford because of a tractor-trailer vehicle accident between 15 and 16. Looks like it happened just north of exit 15. So right now, you got to get off the highway, take a left onto Route 68, and then jump on the Wilbur-Cross Parkway northbound by exit 66 to get around that problem. You can rejoin 91 north. Delays back to 13 in North Haven behind that. Now, if you are traveling northbound 91 after that, good ride Cromwell up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge. As of a couple of minutes ago, we had a problem in the right center lane, westbound 84, between the Bulkley Bridge and the downtown tunnel. So it looks like there was a minor accident there. So you got delays now approaching the Bulkley Bridge up to that accident. 84 eastbound slowing a little bit, 46 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 through 84 moving well east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay, Glastonbury to Marlboro. Quiet Middletown 9 in the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound Waterbury delays 17 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 a little tight in Waterbury between 23 and 22. 84 eastbound Danbury slowing 3 to 5. Again 10 to 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway delays 60 down to 59. And South 95 New Haven slowing 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather. For the rest of our Monday afternoon, it'll be breezy and warm, the high of 70. Clear to partly cloudy, breezy tonight, the low down to 47. Then as we head through Tuesday, it'll be mostly sunny, windy, and notably cooler, that high of 54. Likely to feel more like it's in the 40s at best with that northwest wind at 12 to 25 miles an hour throughout the day. Plenty of sunshine, a chilly day for Wednesday, the high even cooler at 48. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC
Be right back.
News Update.
58 degrees at 5:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Cooler but dry and windy tomorrow. Red flag warning has been issued for Hartford, Talent, and Windham counties through 6 p.m. tomorrow. About 80 wildfires are still being monitored statewide. 91 North in Wallingford still closed at exit 15. Has been since about 2 o'clock. State police investigating a tractor-trailer incident with another vehicle. One person was hospitalized. That's 91 North in Wallingford, closed. Donald Trump will nominate one of his top backers in Washington, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik of New York, as ambassador to the UN. He will also bring back Tom Homan as border czar. Homan responsible for the family separation policy in the first Trump term. More nominations are on the way, according to CBS's Weijia Zhang.
CBS News has learned Republican Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee, a staunch opponent of Ukraine aid, is being considered for Secretary of State, along with Senator Marco Rubio and former Director of National Intelligence Rick Grinnell.
The New York Times reports anti-immigration figure Stephen Miller will be a deputy chief of staff. 1.4 million Honda and Acura vehicles being investigated for possibly being prone to engine failure.
Honda has already recalled 250,000 vehicles because their V6 engines can fail. Now federal safety regulators are looking at 1.4 million other Hondas and Acuras that may have a similar problem. At least one crash with no injuries has been reported. Honda says it's cooperating in the investigation.
CBS's Jeff Gilbert reporting. Bristol police identified the pedestrian killed last night as 62-year-old Tony Fassendini of Plainville. The crash happened around 6 at the intersection of Route 72 and Lincoln Avenue. The driver is cooperating with police. On Wall Street, the Dow closes above 44,000 for the first time. It gained 304 points. S&P was plus 6. The NASDAQ was plus 12. Sports, Giants coach Brian Daboll says the team is evaluating its quarterback situation after yesterday's loss to Carolina. Monday Night Football in Miami at the LA Rams. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Did you know millions of people are getting prescription medications for weight loss, sexual health, better sleep, and more, all online? RexMD.com has made getting these medications fast and easy, with free delivery of the most popular medications right to your door. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, we'll prescribe and ship clinically proven options to help with issues like weight loss.
I've lost 45 pounds so far. It's nice to get back into clothes that I haven't been able to wear for a long time.
We can also help with insomnia.
I slept through the whole night. It made me feel very well rested and ready to go for the day.
And RexMD can improve your sexual health.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is happier. I am definitely much happier.
At RexMD.com, we've made the process fast, easy, and affordable. Visit RexMD.com right now to get started. That's REXMD.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of 30 seconds who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and look to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535, 800-511-3535, or biglou.com.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man. On NewsTalk 1080 WTIC, before we get into the traffic, let me take one call that's been on hold for a little bit. Lori's in Glastonbury. Lori, if you had something that you want the campaign, or at least, I'm sorry, the administration now, you can't call it a campaign anymore. What do you want the administration to fulfill this time around with its 4 years?
There's two things I would really like to see. I'm really looking forward to slimming down all of the bureaucracy and finding all of the government waste.
Yeah, waste, fraud, and abuse.
I'm really looking forward to Elon Musk just saying, okay, let's go in and let's clean it all out. I can't wait for that.
I want before you finish, I want to say I want him to do this government the sort of accountability thing. I want it to look like the Twitter files of the government. Like, I don't want him to just end the waste, fraud, and abuse. I want him to expose it and let us know in like print form so we could all read what they were spending our money on.
Which I'm sure he'll do. And if Tulsi Gabbard is in charge of Veterans Affairs, I'd love to see like just tiny houses built for our veterans that are homeless. I would just want to see our veterans treated so much better than they have been in the past 4 years. I feel like during the first go round, it was on the upswing, but when Biden came into office, it went very quickly downhill. Mm-hmm. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're going to handle that again. And you know what? I have a question for you, because someone had said to me that Trump was going to try to dismantle the ADA. Yeah. And I don't think that's possible. And I mean, he really likes, I don't want to say he really likes, but I've seen videos where he's been very kind to people with disabilities, so I don't think that's going to be on his roster.
I think that's a little ridiculous. But I'll look into that for you. But let me say this to you, Lori, and I think that the two can coexist. I think that Elon Musk can find out where the waste, fraud, and abuse is, right, and sort of tamp that down, and also use that money to, one, pay down the debt, and also use that overrun, like maybe split the difference in that in those findings, and help not just our homeless veterans, which are plenty and vast, but then work on the homeless problem that we have in the country as well. And see if we can sort of parlay that into some assistance into those people who many people believe that during this whole migrant crisis or the illegal crisis, that where billions of dollars were spent on them, to sort of use that money to do what should have been done in these last 4 years and getting those people off the streets.
Well, and I'm also looking forward to Title IX being reestablished.
Oh, yeah.
For just women, because I can't wait for men to not be in women's spaces.
I want that story. You're so right. I want that story to be off the headlines. I don't want the kids having to deal with that anymore, especially the girls. You know, I want a new plight for women's rights, and I want them centered around exactly what you just said. Women are women, and they are adult female, and that'll be the end of it. No more of this nonsense and playing around with the term or the language of what is and what has been a female our entire lives. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate you, dear. Let's get another check of our traffic with Mark Christopher at the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're 84 westbound coming into Hartford right now, you're looking at delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge up into the tunnel. We had an accident as you moved into the tunnel, right center lane. Looks like they moved it off the exit 48 Asylum Street off-ramp. I can see them working on that there. So use caution if you're getting off westbound 84 at exit 48. Eastbound 84, pretty much just a little slowdown as you move into the tunnel now. Southbound 91, got a little delay approaching and getting by 33 Jennings Road. We have the remains of an accident on the right shoulder there. After that, easy ride down into Meriden now. On the northbound side of I-91, got that accident down on the Wallingford-Meriden line between 15 and 16, tractor trailer and a vehicle. Highway still shut down at exit 15. Delays are back to 13 in Wallingford. Behind that, looks like everybody's jumping off the highway, taking 68 over to the Parkway northbound to get around that. Now, if you're heading into Middletown, that looks good. 9 in the Aragoni Bridge, 291, 384, okay, east of the river, 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury and Marlboro. If you're heading into the Waterbury area right now and you're on the westbound side of I-84, look for some slow traffic as you move up from exit 20, a little slow by exit 26. Eastbound side of 84, you'll see some slow traffic now as you move between 16 and 17, Southbury into Waterbury. 84 eastbound in Newtown, a little slow, 10 to 11. Southbound Parkway is tight from 60 in Hamden down to 59 in New Haven. And 95 southbound, look for slow traffic in New Haven from 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather. Partly cloudy, breezy tonight, the low down to 47. It remains windy, and it'll be a cooler day for Tuesday, though mostly sunny. The high of 55 will feel quite a bit cooler with that northwest wind cranking along 15 to 25 miles an hour. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine, a chilly feel, the high of 48. 48 again on Thursday with plenty of sunshine. Friday, it'll be partly sunny, the high up to 56 as we head out of the weekend, or head into the weekend rather. Then Saturday, breezy in the morning, mix of clouds and sun. It'll be a little cooler to kick off the weekend. Saturday, the high of 54. Right now, Waterbury 59, Mansfield at 57. It's 63 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Be a guest at your Thanksgiving dinner with Highland Park Market's chef-prepared dishes like mashed potatoes, butternut squash, bread stuffing, and turkey gravy. Nobody does Thanksgiving better than family-owned and operated Highland Park Market. Manchester, Glastonbury, Farmington, and at HighlandParkMarket.com.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hi, Tom Shattuck here, and November is Veterans Month, a time to celebrate and honor the heroes who have served our country. This November, Awaken 180 Weight Loss is showing their appreciation for active duty, veterans, and spouses by offering 15% off your entire Awaken 180 program. Free support for life included. It's a thank you for the sacrifices you've made, protecting our freedoms and making this country what it is. This is special. Awaken 180 has never offered a discount, ever. If this incentive can help turn your focus on you, your health, your goals, and your happiness, I say go for it. Do what I did and choose the solution for weight loss. So if you're active duty, a veteran, or a spouse of one, this month is about you. Celebrate veterans with 15% off your Awaken 180 program. And as with all clients, receive free support for life after reaching your goal. Do what I did, and dozens of other radio guys I know did, who've lost a ton of weight. As a matter of fact, over 23,000 other people have done it too. Take control at awaken180weightloss.com.
Woohoo! Another girl's night.
Oh, man.
I'm so stressed from shopping. I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television? JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands
Got to do my parlays tonight, baby.
of pearls,
Oh,
colored
who's playing
gemstones,
tonight?
watches, even gift sets. I shop on
Miami
New JTV customers save up
versus
when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relate?
the Rams.
Another
Oh.
round? Yes.
Gosh,
Babes, what are you doing?
I have no idea if I want to watch
I'm
that
just mowing
game.
the lawn.
I don't want to watch it either, but once you make a bet, you kind of gotta
You
watch.
gotta have to pay attention, right? Yeah.
Using power
At least,
equipment
you know what?
when it's
The
windy
betting
and
is the
dry.
only thing that makes that game interesting.
It's on.
Facts.
Come with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right.
Yeah, 10.
Hey,
Got
Bear.
it.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 10.
All right, we have reached that part of the program. We're going to wrap it up. Who do we have? Yeah. Don't be excited. We're not there yet. Let's see who's going to be my last but not least today on the Reese on the Radio program on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. But let's get to it. Again, 5 o'clock focus question. What are your hopes for, if not your wish list, for this administration that you'd like to see here, if not in Connecticut, but across the country, if not the world? You never know. It can be impacting everybody. Let's go to Jeff in Marlboro. How you doing, boss?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. So what is your, if you have a hope for anything?
Oh, boy, just to, bring down the cost of everything. But that's not the main reason I called in, though.
Sure, tell me.
So, number one, out of two things, I'll be real quick. Number one, you said you didn't know what you did right, but your wife's treating you all good now?
Yeah.
You went away for a week. That's what you did.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny because she's in the chat room and she said, "You can never leave me again." I'm going, what? And miss all of this? I'm going away and coming back so I can get more cookies. Baked goods, apparently leaving town gets you baked goods. Who knew? What else you got, buddy?
The other big thing I kind of wanted to hear your opinion on was the no taxes on tips.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to compare. Number one, I don't make tips, so
okay.
it's kind of a law that kind of singles out a certain group of people, wait staff, delivery people, whatever. And versus something Kamala Harris wanted to do, like the $25,000 for like a first-time home buyer.
Yeah.
I think that also singles out a certain group of people. I don't think that that's actually even constitutional. I think that's just campaign nonsense that they both said.
Yeah, there was no way that Kamala Harris was going to get that passed because, again, the rub on that $25,000 on first-time home buyers, the devil was in the details. She was trying to, like, in a weird way, or wiggle her way into getting people of color that sort of benefit. And she never described it in any way other than to suggest if you had a first-time home buyer, there were other details that were, if you came from a family who owned a home, you clearly weren't eligible. So it was it was like first-time home buyers, but only if your parents have never owned a home, ever. You're the first-generation home buyer. And there was, in essence, it was nothing more than, reparations through real estate. It's kind of silly.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I never thought about it that way. So how about the Trump thing? I mean, do you really think that's constitutional to take a certain group of people and give them non-taxable income?
Not particular, because I think the service industry, as far as like no taxes on tips, that doesn't have anything to do with a particular demographic of people. It's just people who work in that industry. And it's sort of a tax relief, right? It's not saying that, if you look at those people, we are not looking at six-figure folks on the average who work in that industry. No taxes on them. We may still have to claim them on our tax forms. We may have to still, but we won't have them taxed. But we still have to. I guess we would still have to report the fact that we get tips on, in essence, what we make, so to speak. So you'll probably still fall under this tax bracket because you make this many dollars an hour, and that's what your wage is, but we are not going to penalize you if your tips sort of outmake or outweigh your regular wages. Because tips, in essence, there's no way for you to guarantee that income. Tips are high, they're low, but depending on the economy, you could do really, really great one year and do horrible the next. In essence, if you're getting taxed by that money, that tips money, can actually make or break your finances. I think it's a good idea. In essence, because one, I think people will tip more, and two, I think people will be sort of incentivized to go in that industry where people are losing employees. Don't forget about that. People are losing, they're losing that workforce.
That is true. I can understand that. But it just seems weird, because you have to pay taxes on every single cent you make. I'm sure about that.
Oh, I think we're going to get rid of that. Remember that ridiculous thing that the Biden administration did for Cash Apps and Venmo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to see that go away too.
But I mean, as far as my regular job goes, I don't get any free, non-taxable
No,
income.
but you know what? How about if you just get a tax break on your income altogether? I think we can see that kind of money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think if we all got a tax break, I think everybody should still pay taxes. I mean, I've known plenty of men and women who've been wait staff, especially wait staff or delivery people, and the tips and everything, they do pretty well with that.
They do. Some people don't even claim them on their taxes because of how much it was getting taxed.
Right.
Yeah. So it keeps people on the up and up. Thank you. I appreciate you, Jeff. Let me get to another one before we get up out of here, buddy. All right, let's go to who's my next up? Oh, Craig. Craig's in the car. What's going on, Craig?
All right, I got a bullet list for you.
Okay, go for it.
Observation on the no tax on overtime.
Okay.
I'll tell you who benefits from that a lot is law enforcement.
Yes.
Because those guys, when they're about to reach their retirement age and they're about to check out, they get overtime like you can't believe because they want their pensions going up.
That's right.
So they will benefit greatly from that.
And the interesting part, Craig, let me cut you off there because there's another component to that.
Yep.
Because remember, we're losing that workforce too, as we just did with the wait staff, right? We're losing people who are joining the police force. This is another hiring incentive.
Indeed. And I've got another one we're losing too. Number one, active duty military.
Mm-hmm.
Once they are retired, should never pay more than 10% in taxes ever, and the first 10 years should be tax-free. It encourages them to start businesses.
Yeah.
To hire employees, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, the EPA has to kill this EV mandate stuff that's going on because people do not understand how much money that's going to cost.
Yeah, and in fact, the new
it costs.
Who is the new
Go ahead.
Who's the guy he just appointed? Lee from New York.
Lee
Zeldin. Yes, he just nominated him as the head of the EPA.
Yes. That has to go away on day one. My third point is, yes, we have to close the border down. We have to stop illegal immigration.
Yep.
But we should double the number of legal immigrants that come into this country.
Yeah.
They love our country. They're fleeing countries that are oppressed. And guess how they vote?
Exactly. Hey, how about streamlining the immigration and Naturalization Office. And we could do that with Elon Musk getting rid of all of that nonsense going on in that administration.
Look, Reese, if we have 1 million legal immigrants coming into this country every year,
right,
I'll take 2 or 3.
Sure.
If they come in the right way, and we can get rid of the 6 million that come in illegally. I'll take that trade all day long.
You and me both, sir. You and me both. Thanks, Craig, as always, sir. Let's go to Kim in Cromwell. How we doing, Kim?
Good. I have an issue which doesn't get a lot of attention, but it is costly to a lot of the population. I would like to see some kind of law change, either through the tax code or a ceiling on any kind of school tuition, public or private, and tell these universities that they cannot keep raping over American citizens or even foreign naturalized people here and run it as a business, okay? And if they do it the tax credit way, it's got to be substantial. I'm not talking about, if you pay $40,000 a year, we'll give you $500 off your tax. No, it's got to be. I'm talking thousands.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Kim. Did you hear about Donald Trump's video that he put out about accreditation at colleges and universities? Did you watch that video yet?
I just vaguely heard about it.
Yeah, I watched it this morning. And I was thinking about playing the audio. I think I'm going to play it tomorrow. But he was talking about how he's going to get all of this ridiculous stuff about the accreditations at colleges and universities. When I found out that it was $52,000 a year to get to go to Harvard each year, and some of the things, the accreditations at that school in order for these people to graduate is for stuff that no one would hire these kids for. And so Donald Trump is talking about cleaning it up.
Yeah. No tuition in this day and age, and room and board as well, should exceed $20,000.
Indeed.
I mean, if I'm taking Calc 1 40 years ago in college, and let's say back then it was worth $300 for a 1-3 credit course, there's no reason why that course should be $3,000 today.
Yeah, you're right. And isn't it insane, Kim, that with $52,000 that they were asking these kids to pay at Harvard University, they had the audacity to put up flyers teaching kids how to get on food stamps to get food.
Yeah, it is. It's a crime what they have done. You know, Europe, pretty much on the state level, they do it pretty much for free. I'm not sure what they do on the private level, but we are beyond the pale, and it is putting tremendous burdens on families and kids thereon after.
Yeah, indeed.
It's criminal.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Kim. Much appreciated. Let's go to, that's Rob in Middlefield. Oh, no, yeah, that's Rob in Middlefield. How you doing, Rob?
Hey, Bob in Middlefield.
Bob, I'm sorry, Bob.
No, that's okay. Hey, listen, Reese. 2 things. The White House was lit up in gold the other night. Did you see that?
I did not. Why would it be lit up in gold?
Because we're entering the golden age, which Trump is about to enter.
Not bad.
He's entering. We're going into the golden age. Now, we're all going to be rich. Now, I'm telling you one thing. Have you ever heard about the Hopi prophecy?
No, that doesn't ring a bell at all.
Okay, look it up tonight. YouTube, Hopi prophecy. Look up Red Hat. The Red Hat version of the man who's going to usher in the golden age has a red hat. Now, how did they know this 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 years ago when this prophecy was illuminated to all the people, handed down from generation to generation, and they find out whoever wears the red hat is the one that's going to transform Earth.
Ooh, okay.
Now, I wonder who that is.
I know.
Jeez, I'm scratching my head.
I got homework. Thank you.
You got homework.
You got it. You got it.
One other thing.
Real quick.
I just got my Dark MAGA hat, and you know what that is. Never surrender. We're looking at Elon Musk. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, last but not least, turns out to be Ron in, where is he? In East Windsor. How you doing, Ron?
What's going on, Reese? How you doing? Real quick, 5 o'clock focus, and I have a quick Red Sox story for you.
Okay, go for it. You got a minute.
Okay. First of all,
40 seconds.
And the 200,000 children that are missing, and nobody's really talking about
That's
that.
right.
They've swept that under the rug. Those children need to be found, and there's nobody's talking about it. Nobody's done anything about it. It's been swept. They need to find out where these children are.
You got it. Last but not least, go ahead. Go for it.
Okay, so Red Sox. I'm a big Red Sox fan like you. 2004 World Series.
Yes.
They had the 20th anniversary at Mohegan Sun this weekend.
Yeah.
And I got tickets to see Veritek, Johnny Damon, Manny Ramirez, Alan Embry. We go there, meet and greet. It was great. I go to another bar. We close down the bar. It's 2:30 in the morning. I'm walking around and go to Pepe's to get pizza. There's places closed, but they're doing pizzas out to go. Who's right behind me? There's nobody right. Alan Embry. Me and Alan Embry sat in a chair from 2 o'clock in the morning till 3:15 talking Red Sox and football and everything. It was unbelievable.
You deserve that, my friend. Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it. Gosh, I wish I was there. All right. As I always say, folks, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. You, make sure you like and share the program. Go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. He is Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Good night, Mark. See you tomorrow.
Alan Embry, a key lefty out of the bullpen for that 2004 World Series championship. He was a key member of the bullpen, big,
and no one talks about
him. No, but he deserves a lot of credit. He was him and Alan and Keith Falk were the left-right combination that finally got us over the hump in 2004. That must have been a thrill for that guy.
Indeed.
That's a great story. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, the big problem right now still is in Wallingford, 91 northbound.
All right.
All right. And that phone thing worked
worked
actually pretty good. Now I got to get the font up high, larger so I can read the names.
Yeah, so you can read the good shit.
All right. I will see you tomorrow, sir. Hey, are you out this weekend anytime or no?
No.
Okay, you're good to go.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Oh, man. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Michael A. Thank you, as always. Thank you, commentary. You guys have been good. Strakowski. God bless you, man. Thank you so much for those kind comments related to Rush. And you guys be good, and you know the deal. We'll be back here to do it all over again tomorrow. Hint, hint. Wednesday, we will have, if we're lucky, and we'll find out tomorrow, we're going to have the New England mayor. New Haven mayor. Yeah. The New Haven mayor on the show. So stand by for that. It should be very interesting. But we'll get a confirmation tomorrow. All right, guys.